launched Verizon Wireless, we didn't just create affordable coast-to-coast calling plans with no roaming or long-distance charges. We created an entirely new kind of wireless communications company. Single rate, only from Verizon Wireless. Join in.
At Geico, we're always looking for faster ways to process your car insurance claims. One idea, airlifting claims adjusters right to the site of the accident. We're over the target.
I don't see the car.
It's that little black dot.
They're all little black dots.
Good luck. Oh, your laptop.
Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
It just looked like I was kissing her. Brought me in. Baby, what are you doing? Come on, baby. I can explain. I don't even. These aren't mine. Whose are these?
Just in case you find yourself needing a little extra room, Ford Focus has more cargo space than anything else in its class. And right now, get a Ford Focus starting at $12,970.
Okay. All right, it's not what you think. Oh, thanks a lot, man.
Visit your Tri-State Quality Ford store today.
Oh, baby, come on.
It's time to even the score and put on your game face. Game Face, the new interactive sports show that lets you be heard. Get it off your chest. We want you to join us live in the studio. Reserve your seats now. Call 1-877-674-METRO. Ask the questions you always wish you could. Face to face to the sports heroes and legends you've grown to love or hate. Get in the game and into our studio. Game Face. It certainly beats yelling at the TV. Only on Metro.
New York Islanders hockey is brought to you by Bud Light, the proud supporter of the NHL. By United Airlines, helping people stay united. By your Tri-State Quality Ford store, a participating advertiser. And by The Wiz, your ticket to entertainment.
Back at Nassau Coliseum, it's the Pittsburgh Penguins and the New York Islanders. The Islanders come in having lost 7 straight at home. Another loss would make it 8, and that would be a franchise record. A loss or a tie tonight, and the Islanders would be assured of finishing with the worst record in the NHL this year and assure them of at least the first or second pick in the upcoming draft. So if there's a positive to be drawn from having little success, it is the high draft position the Islanders will once again enjoy as they head towards the next draft in the NHL. You know Mario Lemieux will not play. 15 power play goals for him this year. This power play has been excellent for Pittsburgh. They're 5th best in the NHL at almost 20% efficiency, and they certainly power themselves with it. They have 267 goals. That is 2nd best in the NHL. A very dangerous team, the Pittsburgh Penguins, with or without Mario Lemieux. And as Chris Terreri mentioned just a couple of minutes ago, oftentimes teams will get up when the superstar is not available to play. And with Lemieux staying home in Pittsburgh, expect a little extra energy perhaps from his Penguin teammates here playing without him tonight. As for the Islanders just hope to break up this 7-game home losing streak and get something positive going for this final week of the season. Now here's Howie Rose and Joe Micheletti. Guys?
All right, Michael, thank you. Eddie Westfall will join us between periods as well from the Nassau Coliseum. These teams have split the first 4 games this season, and this is Garth Snow, the 31-year-old, who has been around in the National Hockey League, Vancouver, Quebec, Philadelphia. Played on the United States Olympic team in '94, some years after Chris Terreri did for Team USA. That would have been in '88, right, with Mike Richter?
I believe you are correct.
88, right?
Was it 88? No, he was, I know he was 92.
Terreri?
Oh, Terreri.
No, Snow was 94.
Snow was 94.
Yeah, no,
right?
I was talking
Terreri
about
was
Terreri.
88. Okay.
Yeah.
You're confusing me already. We haven't even started yet.
That's pretty good. Mario Jaromir Jagr, that's what we told you about before.
Yeah, this was during the national anthem, trying to get the hand and the wrist loosened up a little bit, and he starts on the right side.
So we'll see with Jagr out there along with Jan Hrdina, number 38, Alexei Morozov, number 95. And on defense for the Pittsburgh Penguins, heading back is Frank Kuchera, number 26. And around at the other side, number 24 is Ian Moran, who's also been used on right wing by the Penguins. And the Islanders going with what's been a pretty good line for them lately. Good grinding line of Scatchard, Hyatt, and McCall. On defense, Eric Cairns, who just kept it away from Jagr there. And Chara. Offside called, Pittsburgh blue line.
On the matchup again with Yager on the ice, every time he's out there, of course, Lorne Henning is going to try and keep both Chara and Cairns out on the ice against him to play a physical game. And that's the one thing that Lorne Henning has done since he has become the head coach of this team. He's switched up his defense pairings depending on the team he's playing against. Sometimes he's had Kenny Janssen and Hammerlich together. Sometimes he'll split up the other players. And there's Chara. He's already seems to be in some pain. I wonder how long he's going to be in this game. I think he wants it frozen again. See that little signal he made? He's got this little smell. He's got this little spray. He can spray on the injured area that'll numb it.
They used to call that ethyl chloride. They'd spray that on a part of, I don't know if it's a different substance now than it was then, but they'd spray that on a baseball player who fouled the ball off his foot.
Yeah, there it is. You're trying to freeze that area, try and take away some of the pain.
Garth Snow fields the dump in. Kasparaitis lost it briefly to Mark Parrish. Lapointe, Parrish, and Connolly. The Islander forward line, Alexei Kovalev slips one along to Straka. Martin Straka peeling back at center. Being chased by Parrish, who just about got him loose. Kasparaitis then takes the spill. Lapointe being worked over by Kasparaitis, who lost his stick in the exchange. And now Lapointe gets it back. Kasper loses that glove again. Now Connolly flings it behind the net. Snow bats it into the corner. Straka bumped by Lapointe. And Robert Lang starts ahead. Boy, he's had a good year. This whole line has been terrific for the Penguins this season. Lang, Straka, and Kovalev.
Yeah, and Straka, no one really talks about him all that much because of the great year Kovalev is having, his best year ever, and then Lemieux coming back, of course, and Yager leading the league in scoring, and Straka is third in the league in scoring. He's having just a tremendous season.
And clearly, that's the best, quote, second line as Tchaikovsky fires wide and almost clips Paul Stewart.
Stewart tried to jump. Tried to jump. Everything went up in the air except his skates. They stayed on the ice.
Just like when he played. So I've heard.
He had air, and the knees were bent, the waist was bent, the arms were moving upward to try and lift himself and create some torque. But when it finally happened, his skates wouldn't leave the ice and got hit in the foot.
He is a piece of work. And also one of the nicer and most charitable officials in the entire National Hockey League.
Here's the shot. It'll come well wide. Watch Stewie here. Look at him try and jump. They get off the ice. No.
When he was diagnosed a few years ago with colon cancer, once he completed his treatments and got back to good health, well, he became tireless in his charitable efforts relative to cancer and the entire NHL Hockey Fights Cancer program.
It hasn't changed at all since then. I mean, he keeps fighting the good cause and trying to do whatever he can to help people that are battling cancer, raise money. And you're right, he is tireless.
2:50 gone in the opening period as the Penguins break to center. Hammerlich takes care of Josef Baranek in the corner. Thrown across by Wayne Primo. Picked off now by Coleman. A lead for Galley a little bit too far. And this will cost the Islanders an icing. They'll bring it back 3:08 into this first period of New York Islanders hockey, which is being telecast in high definition. And that is presented by Panasonic, just slightly ahead of our time.
Well, that man right there is trying to get back in the good graces. Not that he was on it, but when he got hurt back on February 7th against Philadelphia, pulled the groin. This is his first game since then. And of course, they made the trade at the deadline, and they acquired Hedberg as the backup tonight, who has played very, very well. And so Snow is finally getting an opportunity to play. Now, when you look at these goaltenders on Pittsburgh, and Aubin's the other one who hasn't played well, or as well as I think most people were hoping. But Snow is the only one of the three goaltenders that has any playoff experience at all. And so it'll be interesting to see what Pittsburgh does going down the stretch. And there's only 4 games remaining for them. I know Snow plays well a couple. Will he start the playoffs? Right now, I think everyone's leaning towards Hedberg.
Well, let's watch this line matchup right here. You've got the Penguins' fourth line with Tibbetts, Oliva, and McKenna. 3 big boys who love to mix it up. And the Islanders have their fourth line of Martins, Berube, and Webb. And you knew there'd be some thumping pretty soon after they dropped the puck with this combination.
Yeah, I think Tibbetts let up a little bit on Webb because the linesman was in the way. I think he looked up, saw the linesman right there, and kind of held up on really taking Webb hard into the bench.
Here's Janssen joining the play, trying to get around Kasparaitis, who actually put the puck on his own goal. Tried to sweep it away, and then Snow had to make a save. Penguins come back. This is Morozov, number 95, flinging it off the skate of Eric Cairns. And Berube shoves one ahead from a call. Now Martins with a long drive, and that's stopped by Snow. Several Penguins not dressed tonight. Marc Bergevin, Hans Janssen, Johnny Laakkonen's been hurt, Kevin Stevens, and of course Mario Lemieux. As Ivan Holinka, the coach of the Penguins, starts to rest some people as we hit the final week of the regular season.
And there's the head coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins, Ivan Holinka. And here's the hit again. Look, see Tibbetts kind of holds up a little bit on Webb because he sees the linesman directly in the way. So instead of taking him, I think he would have taken him much harder into the boards because he had good position on him. And that man right there, guess what system he put into place a couple of weeks ago? A left wing lock. He's been trying to get his team to play better defensive hockey. In fact, Marc Bergevin, who is not dressed in this one, was very adamant a couple of weeks ago, saying that this team, we're not going to do anything in the playoffs unless we start paying more attention to the defensive side of the game. Quit giving up 3-on-2. So Ivan Holinka went in before the New Jersey game. Remember when New Jersey had won 13 in a row and said, here's what we're going to do in this game. We're going to play the left wing lock, and they did. They played it to perfection. They beat New Jersey. And even though it's still a work in progress, they feel that they're going to have to play this better defensive hockey overall.
McCall, a shot from a sharp angle, and he scores. Bill McCall puts the Islanders in front 1-0.
This took a funny hop off something. Either hit the referee, a player, or the glass, and came straight out to McCall. And Snow, who had played the puck, was still behind the net. And McCall just jumped on and put it in. This should be an unassisted goal. And this hit something in front. It might have been an Islander player going the other way. Here comes Snow. Watch him come out to play it. Now he'll try and go over to this side. And as he plays it up high, now that might have hit Pyatt as well. Or the referee, Stewart, was there, and it just came back the other way, and Snow was still trying to get back, and McCall put it in for a 1-0 lead.
You saw Bill McCall looking upwards just after scoring the goal. He was watching the replay on the overhead scoreboard because he wanted to know the same thing. How'd he get the puck?
No, I'm thinking that it hit the referee, Paul Stewart.
Yager throws one at the net. Terreri, a sliding save on Morozov after turning Yager's shot aside. Terreri scrambling to get back as Moran jumps in, hits the side of the net, centering feed, score! Jaromir Jagr, as Terreri never did get back into position. Jagr puts Pittsburgh into a 1-1 tie.
Well, he made a great save, and then after that he didn't get enough help. When you come back to the net, you've got to pick up players. Don't look at the puck. Terreri made a beautiful save on Morozov, and then tried to use the stick to poke check the puck, and he couldn't quite get that done. And here comes the play again as it ends up back in front. Watch the save he makes right there. Beautiful save. Now he's out, and now he just tries to poke check the puck, and Hrdina does a good job. This shot will hit the side of the net, and again Terreri slides over, thought he was going to have to make the save, and everyone forgot about Jagr. Now you've got to come back and take bodies. Find a body, forget about the puck, and take the man out. And at this point, see, Terreri's got to slide all the way back because Moran had an excellent chance, but hit the side of the net. And then it ends up on the stick of Jagr. Goal number 49 for Jaromir Jagr,
who only has had one 50-plus goal season, which you might find somewhat surprising. That was when he scored 62 goals in 95-96. So one more for Jaromir Jagr, and he'll have his second 50-goal season.
Just the spray did the job.
Yes. Oh, yeah, here's Kovalev in front.
He should go back to the bench and spray the other wrist.
So it's Jagr assisted by ethyl chloride. And a 1-1 tie.
She's good.
She's cold. Vicious. Hammerlick in the corner. And Lang behind the net. Now for Kovalev. He got knocked down, and Terreri will hold on. 2 goals, 30 seconds apart. First McCall, then Jagr.
I'll be right out. Let me just put this Bud Light away. Hey, Otto. Come on.
Honey, where's Otto? Otto? Otto?
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down. Make it a Bud Light.
The wonder of it all. Take a chance, make it happen. Pop the cork, finger snapping. Spin the wheel, round and round we go. Life is good, life is sweet. Grab yourself a front row seat. Let's meet and have a ball. Let's live. Yeah, let's live for the wonder of it all. Meet me at Foxwoods. Foxwoods.
To all the weekend warriors who push themselves to the limit, the sports medicine experts and orthopedic specialists of Continuum Hospitals are thankfully here to help.
Bill McCult gets the goal for the Islanders. That made it 1-0, and then Yager comes back. I believe what this puck hits is right there, folks, and we've seen that this year, where it takes a funny bounce, gets right past Stewart, the referee, and Bill McCult jumps on it, has the open net, and puts it in. That made it 1-0.
So Billy McCall, his 11th goal of the year, and 30 seconds later, number 49 from Yager. 1-1. That's former Islander prospect Dan Lacouture, number 22, tied up with Meze behind the net. Lacouture, the player the Islanders sent to the Edmonton Oilers in exchange for Mariusz Czerkowski. He's still hoping to straighten out a new contractual arrangement with Mike Milbury.
Well, Mike Milbury met with Czerkowski's agent, who is Boston-based, this past weekend to try and hammer that out.
It's Neil Abbott.
Neil Abbott.
Same guy who represents Jeremy Roenick.
Correct.
Interestingly enough,
I wonder if he talked about Czerkowski meeting.
About Czerkowski, you're right.
Oh, no, that's right. That would be tampering. They wouldn't do that.
That's all conceptual anyway. Bobby Dallas drives one off the blocker of Terreri.
Those types of things do not happen in professional sports.
Never. There are rules in place.
That's right.
And everybody's well aware that you've got to abide by those
absolutely
regulations.
What do you offer?
About 3 towns in Nassau. Well, this might have been inevitable. Cairns and Tibbetts. Inevitable because Cairns is back fighting again. He had his first one over the weekend.
But Cairns got the stick up first. I mean, he gave him the stick right across the jaw, and Tibbetts right away threw the gloves down. And Tibbetts is hanging in there. He's taking a couple of good shots from Cairns, and Tibbetts is a tough kid. He won't go down. He's staying with it. Tibbetts doesn't want to quit, and I would venture to guess that he will be back soon. We might see this again before this first period has ended. And this all starts with Tibbetts coming in, and Cairns got the stick up on him. And Tibbetts just kept his forward progress going forward and dropped the gloves. And you have to give that decision to Eric Cairns, who had the reach on him, but Tibbetts is a tough kid. He's a tough kid. And again, I would say that he'll be back.
Well, remember Eric Cairns' situation, too. He missed the first 18 games of the season after breaking his thumb in training camp. Then he comes back and he has surgery in December and misses another 17. And then he missed a couple with a sprained wrist, so he didn't want to fight. And he finally fought Nazarov in Boston the other night.
Yeah, see the stick and the arms come up, and Tibbetts right away throws the gloves down, and Cairns was ready for him. I think they both knew what was eventually going to happen, which was this. And Cairns was able to, there, watch his stick, up high across the jaw. Tibbetts says, okay, fine. And by the time he got his gloves off, Cairns was ready, and then Cairns used his reach advantage to keep him out. And Cairns was able to get in some pretty good shots. Again, here it comes. Watch the stick of Cairns. Right there, up high on Tibbetts. And away they go.
Well, it'll be a wash. Just 5 minutes each for fighting, although the Penguins are arguing with the referees, Paul Stewart and Kelly Sutherland. Meantime, Tibbetts and Cairns continue getting acquainted.
There he is. Here's Cairns over here. They're saying a few things over there. They're having a little conversation back and forth about the fact that there's 12:35 remaining in period number 1 and lots of time remaining in the game.
Just making an appointment. So Ivan Holinka with a new system of his in place, as is Captain Jaromir Jagr, hearing from Paul Stewart why it's just 5 minutes apiece and Cairns didn't get anything extra for coming up high on Tibbetts.
Now Tibbetts is really going. He continues to carry on the conversation with Eric Cairns.
Well, we've learned in the past that the Pittsburgh Penguins are not shy about continuing these confrontations in the hallway between periods, and obviously the Islanders equal players in that, thinking back to an Eric Cairns, Matthew Barnaby incident last year. They'll have to be careful to make sure and separate the hallway between the rooms after the periods.
Let's not forget that Pittsburgh general manager Craig Patrick made this team much tougher back when the Islanders played a very physical game in December against, January it was, against Pittsburgh, and it was just a day later or two, wasn't it, Howie?
Well, yeah, it was
went out, got all these big guys. You got Christoph Oliva. Tibbetts was not with the team at that time. He got recalled.
McKenna
was acquired from Minnesota, who was 6'7" and 240 pounds.
That was after a home and home. Remember, the teams played in Pittsburgh on a Friday night, and then the next night was Bill Torrey night here at the Coliseum. And shot by Chara, got through some legs, and Snow protects it for a whistle. But Chara in particular, and Eric Cairns were having some fun going up against the Penguins big boys that weekend, and boy, did Craig Patrick respond in a hurry. Not that Mario Lemieux didn't have something to do with that. But we want to remind you that Charity Week continues on the MSG networks right up until April 6th to help raise funds for the Cheering for Children Foundation. All TV and radio audience members can bid on once-in-a-lifetime experiences and memorabilia. So for more info, watch MSG Network and Fox Sports Net Charity Week running through April 6th to help make a difference in the lives of New York City's children.
Is that you that bid the $6,000 to play golf with Sam Rosen and John Davidson the other night?
You know what?
Is that you?
There's not enough money to get me to play golf with somebody who knows how to play golf.
I'll tell you what. I know they're playing at Whippoorwill Country Club, where John Davidson belongs, and I've been lucky enough to be his guest out there a couple of times. It's a tremendous place, and playing with JD will just be. And whoever bought the package will have a great time with those two guys. They'll have all kinds of fun.
What happens when
I wish it was you, and then you were going to invite me.
Oh, I'd be glad to have you, but if there's no windmill or clown's nose involved, I'm terrible. I just want to know, what's JD?
Well, we could probably do something about that.
When they get together, JD going to start with that story about being a 25 or something like that?
Well, you know, and then he kind of, you know, he's got the knee replacement, so he kind of takes his time getting up to that first tee. You know, he's in a little bit of pain, and then he hits it about 290, and then takes out that little wedge, and it looks like a toothpick in those big hands of his, and he just puts it up there about 10 feet, and, and then the game's on.
He and Sal Messina.
And then I pay him afterwards. I tell him thank you very much. I had a lot of fun. That's the end of it.
He and Sal Messina would spend hours trying to convince each other what their handicap was supposed to have been. There's a lot of fiction in those conversations, so I've been told, not being a golfer. Well, there's going to be a penalty here.
Now, this will be goalie interference, and Mark Parrish will be the guilty party for the Islanders. I believe it was goalie interference, as he was in front of the net. Garth Snow went down to the ice, and Garth Snow is one that never shies away from the physical part of the game. He's always played with a lot of intensity, likes playing that. Watch, going in front of the net, there's a collision, and that's the right call. I mean, he made contact with the goaltender Garth Snow before he got hit, and so I think that's the right call. So the Islanders are shorthanded. It looks like Tibbetts now is not sure what's wrong with Tibbetts, but he's got to head to the Pittsburgh locker room. Whether it's equipment related or an injury, he's heading to the Pittsburgh locker room.
Looking on the Pittsburgh bench, I'm not sure whether or not the equipment manager is still there. I think the medical trainer's still there, though.
He didn't seem to be nicked up unless it was a hand or something. So I'm guessing that it's equipment related.
The trainer's in the lower right-hand corner of your screen there, the guy who had the rubber gloves on. And from the face-off, Zdeno Chara back in the Islanders zone, throws it all the way down. Chara, Janssen, Martins, Tchaikovsky are the Islander penalty killers. Lang, Straka, Jágr, Hrdina. Pittsburgh power play along with Ferentz. All the numbers brought to you by Power Express Mortgage Bankers. Tchaikovsky with Martin scooting ahead with him. Marius challenges Straka, who is back covering. But here's Jágr the other way. And he made a move at the blue line, and that forced the play offside.
And Kovalev is not out there to start this, even though, remember, Kovalev had a 3-game suspension. And this Pittsburgh team, their power play, for the most part, plays with 5 forwards, with Kovalev back on the right point. But with him being suspended and missing 3 games, they had to find someone else to play back there. They used Hans Janssen, good young defenseman who's out because of a bad elbow right now. And Janssen was back there shooting the puck. And to start this, Straka is still playing defense, but as you mentioned, Howie, number 7 is Ferentz. He's back there on the point instead of Kovalev.
He is a defenseman by trade. Islanders don't get out. Lang with Jágr has it slapped away. Hrdina recovers, lets it go. Kick save, Ferreri. Hrdina hit by Zdeno Chara. Paul Stewart just had a scamper out of the way of the oncoming LaPointe and Jágr. And it's Jágr winning the puck behind the net. Setting up Ferentz. Minute left to the power play. Andrew Ferentz with a shot slapped away by Janssen, who clears.
That's a great play by Kenny Janssen. Great play. Knew exactly where the man was he was covering in front, but still kept his eye on where the puck was and was able to just slap it out as the shot came towards the net.
Primo gains the blue line. Off to Jágr. And now Straka with his feet tees it up. Kovalev on the ice now. Here he is drawing 2 Islanders towards him. So he moves it to Jágr, who returns it to Straka. Down low, what a setup, but Primo missed. Gorgeous passing play. Primo fails to finish. Now it's Jágr, 23 to the power play. Kovalev pressured by LaPointe. Straka for Jágr. He shoots and he missed upstairs. Now Lang in the corner. Robert Lang as the Penguins spread it out, closing 10 to the power play. Primo almost gave it up to Hamrlik. Now gets it back from Jágr in front. Primo whacking away. It's still loose. Hamrlik just did get there ahead of Jaromir Jágr. Parrish out of the box just in time to intercept the pass, and he headmans to Connolly. Connolly into the Pittsburgh zone, down low. Parrish just took a little tug as he went to the net, but Hamrlik gets it back. Now he goes the other way looking for Parrish. Straka got to it first, and it's Jágr flipping it out to center. Jari Galley gathers it back in. Now for Tchaikovsky into the Pittsburgh zone.
Jágr's still on the ice. That's at least 2 minutes that he spent on the power play. And so he's closing in on a 3-minute shift.
He's got to get his legs because he sat for about 45 seconds after his hand was hurt. His legs must have tightened up. 8:19 remaining in the first period. And Morozov fails to clear. Tchaikovsky with Kavasha. And it's sent out of the zone. And Jágr will sit down for about 10 seconds. Catch his breath. Appearing soon at a rink near you. He still is a rink rat, isn't he? Yeah. He's still one of the first guys out, even for a morning skate.
Well, he'll get a few extra minutes. And Mario Lemieux was leading all their forwards in ice time. In fact, second in the league in average ice time for forwards with Mario Lemieux, second only to Pavel Bure.
What do you think? Will Jágr be back in Pittsburgh? What's your gut feeling?
I'm guessing no.
That'll be the trade of the summer then, won't it?
It's just a guess. And I think maybe some of that might have to do with what happens this playoff season.
Eze just lined up Lacouture for a pretty good hit in the neutral zone. Now Lacouture flicks it into Islander territory.
Now Howie, well, this is Cairns.
Yep, this is McKenna and Chara. Two more big boys. McKenna throwing right. Chara trying to hold them off. Drops McKenna. Chara lands on top. And the linesman intercedes.
Well, McKenna is 6'7". Chara is 6'9". Chara's wingspan is 10'8", and McKenna's is 9'6". And that was the decisive difference in that bout.
Are those official or unofficial numbers?
And now Eric Cairns serves his time, and he heads to the Islanders bench.
We may be here a while.
I've not seen Billy Tibbetts come back into the game yet. Howie, have you?
No, I didn't see him come back from the locker room. I'm not sure if he went to the bench or not. But right now, 7-11 remain in the first period of a 1-1 tie.
Dreyfus presents a continued tradition of tax-smart investment solutions to defend what's yours. The power of you, your advisor, and Dreyfus.
Fox News Channel, the most powerful name in news, giving you the power to decide. Special report with Britt Hume, powerful on politics. The Fox Report with Shepard Smith, powerful information. The O'Reilly Factor with Bill O'Reilly, powerful confrontation. Hannity and Combs, powerful debate. The Edge with Paula Zahn, powerful perspective. The most powerful name in news, Fox News Channel. We report, you decide.
I can't believe they spent all that money switching from safe, dependable oil heat to gas. Rough. Now I'm freezing my tail off because they can't pay the gas bills. Didn't they know switching to gas heat can cost up to $3,500 or more? $3,500. That's a lot of dog biscuits. And they may never get back their investment. Now I'm paying the price.
Oil heat. It's just better.
Rough. You think you'll miss these?
Well, 5 each for fighting. This time to Zdeno Chara and Steve McKenna. Lauren Henning, who was just the subject of the trivia question here on the center ice scoreboard.
That you got correct, by the way. I shouldn't say guessed correct. You knew the answer all the way.
Lauren, he's told us several times. The question was, who was the Islanders' second ever pick?
That turned out to be their best penalty.
Yeah.
No,
well,
he did not say that.
We were getting to that. It was about their first amateur draft ever. The first summer the Islanders were in business, 1972. Billy Harris was #1. And Lauren Henning was #2. And Harris got traded for Butch Goring just before the trade deadline of the year in which Lauren Henning would assist on the Islanders' Stanley Cup winning goal from Bob Nystrom. Here's Lang, robbed by Gary Galley as he tried to get one across to the streaking Straka. Kovalev puts it off of Connolly. And Tim Connolly flings one up the right side. Kasparaitis stepped up on Parrish. And Snow back to play it, decides to leave it for his defense. Rode the point, really stepped into Bugner, who returns the favor, getting a piece of a point from behind, and then Bugner shoots it out of the zone.
Oh, you know, there's been some battles in front of net, in front of both nets. And Paul Stewart is letting those teams battle, and that's good. There should be battles in front of the net. That's where the wars are won.
Attaboy, Stewie, let him go. Here's Yager to the net. He's in, and he's stopped by Terreri. Big move by Yager. Big save by Chris Terreri.
And Terreri's looking up at Morozov saying, I'm not sure where it is either. What a move by Yager. And now they find the puck somewhere in those pads. What a move by Yager. And Cairns was coming from the other side and slid. Watch the strength coming up. 38 is Herdina. Now watch the strength here and watch Cairns come sliding by. And Yager just took it inside, fighting off Taylor Pyatt, who's 220 pounds, and then gets that kind of shot. And Terreri makes the save, and we had him. There it is again. We'll see Terreri's reaction after that, but great opportunity. Now Terreri's not sure where the puck is. Puts the legs together, he's still looking around.
Yager was in position for number 50. Terreri denied it. And now Snow will leave it for Dulles.
Yager looks like he just wants to get that over with, doesn't he? Get to 50, get that over with, and then just continue to work on the scoring title. 6 points ahead of Joe Sakic coming into this one.
He's added 1 point on the goal to make it 7, pending whatever Sakic might do tonight at home against the Edmonton Oilers. Erdina for Dulles. The drive, kick, save, Terreri. And the puck cleared all the way down. Islanders will be hit with an icing here as Ferentz touches up with 5:19 remaining in the first period of a 1-1 tie.
Why don't you get us something to cool this fire down?
I got just the thing. I got 2 logs for that fire.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
That's not that bad.
Introducing the Comic View All-Stars, new on home video. Featuring Cedric the Entertainer, D.L. Hughley, some more and more as you've never seen them before. Call this toll-free number now and get Comic View All-Stars Volume 1. Use your credit card and we'll throw in a second video, Comic View Unleashed, featuring performances so outrageous they can't be shown on TV. You'll get 2 incredible tapes for $19.99, but that's not all. Call with your credit card in the next 10 minutes, and we'll cut the price in half. We'll send you both great videos for only $9.99.
Sookie now.
Every month, preview another video by the wildest crew ever to set foot on stage. Keep only the ones you want, cancel anytime. So call now.
Call 1-800-956-6622 to order Comic View All-Stars for only $9.99. Use your credit card and get a second video free. Call now.
Back at Nassau Coliseum, Billy Tibbetts got the worst of that battle with Eric Cairns. Went to the locker room, had stitches on his chin. Cairns got a little left uppercut toward the end of it. He'll be back to play. And Bill McCall is the only goal for the Islanders tonight. Talking to him before the game, he was talking about what he does to prepare his stick. He likes to use athletic adhesive tape around the shaft, all the way around it. And he'll leave it on there for maybe 2 to 3 weeks. It doesn't wear out. It's kind of like a grip on a softball bat or on a golf club. A little bit of a ridge to it so he can grip it a little bit better. McCall likes to do that to get a better feel for his stick as he uses it night in and night out. Howie, back to you.
All right, just under 5 minutes remaining here in the first period. A giveaway by Oliva. Kavasha centers. Cherkovsky looks in front for Kolnick. Still loose. And now a couple of players deposited in that tipped over net. There's going to be a penalty here.
Net?
Is he going? He's not calling a penalty shot. I thought he pointed to center ice for a moment.
I think he is.
For a defenseman falling on the puck in the crease?
Well, either that or maybe pushing the net.
I guess not, because Moran skated into the box, but didn't it look like Kelly Sutherland at first pointed to center ice?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Here's Kavashi. He'll just throw it in front. And Cherkovsky ends up with 1 chance. And again, Snow hasn't played in a long time. And there's Moran down on the ice.
It's a delay of game.
Moran got the... I'm not sure this is the right call on Moran. Let's see. 24 is Moran in front. And he'll go down on the play. And let's see what happens. Oh, see, Moran gets credit for the penalty, but it really wasn't him. I think he ended up holding it up more than anything. It looked like Frank Kuchera, 26, from behind. Yeah, it was Kuchera, 26, from behind. That pushed the net, but Moran gets the call, and the Islanders get the power play.
So Kuchera owes Moran a couple of penalty minutes. And Alexei Kovalev shoots it out of the zone. Cherkovsky throws it right back into Pittsburgh territory. Kovalev, Bugner, Kasparaitis, Straka, and the Penguins now completing a change, so we'll pick up the revised Pittsburgh Penguin penalty killers here. Lacouture up front now with Lang, and the defense are Ferentz and Bobby Dulles. For the Islanders, Hammerlick and Janssen have the points. Cherkovsky, Connolly, and Kolnick are the forwards. Here comes Cherkovsky. The Pittsburgh zone. Marius going wide on Dulles. Kolnick for Connolly. Ferentz goes after Kolnick. Cherkovsky takes a hit from Dallas and throws a blind pass out of the zone. Hammerlick ahead, looking for Cherkovsky. The drop to Kolnick, or Parrish, pardon me, and that shot deflects off a stick to the crowd. 49 remaining on the Pittsburgh penalty to Moran.
And Cherkovsky is having some words, I believe, with Garth Snow. Again, Garth Snow, you know, plays with an edge. He loves playing that way, and even though he hasn't played in a long time, again, February 7th was his last game that he played and was hurt in the first period. Now let's watch him here. Look at the stick. Oh, and the right leg. Not only the stick, but the right leg as well. Watch him kick it out. Oh, accidental trip.
You sure about that?
Tried to make it look accidental.
Yeah.
No, without question, he knew exactly what he was doing, and that's why Cherkovsky was incensed.
I don't blame him.
No,
You got him at just
a penalty.
you
Nobody saw it.
You have a certain angle. You could turn a guy's knee to spaghetti that way. From the draw, Parrish missed the net. Roman Hammerlick down the boards for Connolly.
Parrish is upset. He normally does not miss the net from 15 feet out.
Now Connolly closes in. That shot deflected off of Butner, and then Snow protects the rebound, which was chipped at him by Parrish.
Yeah, right off the face-off, Parrish is able to work his way through, and the puck ends up on his stick. He's still shaking his head because he's an excellent goal scorer around the net, and he normally does not miss the net when he gets that kind of a chance. I mean, he'll fight through. There he is. There, fights through, and then misses the net. And that was about 15 feet in front. Tried to go high, and Garth Snow, who was going down on the play, and missed the net. And there's Billy Tibbetts. Our understanding is, as Mike Crispino talked about, got stitched up under the chin. And he's back on the Pittsburgh bench.
Jaromir Jagr, by the way, has not returned to the Penguin bench since going to their room. Connolly didn't get it across. Hrdina with Morozov. The pass eliminated by the work of Roman Hammerlick. And now Connolly sends Lapointe to center. He couldn't hold it. Morozov fans. Lapointe after him. Kasparaitis gets it over the line, brought back in offside by Hammerlick with 7 seconds remaining on the penalty to Ian Moran, and 2:53 left in the first period here at the Coliseum. The Islanders will be on WLNY TV, New York 55 on Wednesday night as they face the struggling Maple Leafs at the Air Canada Center. That is going to be a huge game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Islanders hockey Wednesday night on WLNY TV, New York 55. Those Leafs could miss the playoffs.
Yeah. And there's Jaromir Jagr during our last commercial break. Again, we talked about his wrist being injured in the pregame warm-ups, even though he has scored the only Pittsburgh goal. Jagr goes to the Pittsburgh locker room.
Islanders managed one shot on that just concluded power play. 2.5 remaining in the first period. Scatchard looking to slip out from behind. Goes to the corner. Dallas after him. Pyatt run into mildly by Primo in the corner. As is McCall by Ferentz. Scatchard for Cairns. He shoots, and that looked like it hit Dallas' skate.
That's right.
Never did get to Garth Snow.
Cairns looking for goals in consecutive games.
Penguins go offside. The first goal that Cairns scored this year was in an emotional win for the Islanders a couple of weeks ago in Pittsburgh. Remember the game when the Islanders lost 2 defensemen, Branislav Meze and Roman Hammerlick?
Right.
And for the last half of the game, the Islanders were down to 4D, and Cairns, one of those 4, eventually hit the empty net. And then his first goal of the year with a goaltender happened in Boston on Saturday night. But to Eric Cairns, the one against Pittsburgh, even though it was an empty netter, was as big as the one in Boston.
Speaking of Boston, every game, of course, important now for the Bruins, as are the games for Carolina and Toronto. Boston is leading. They're playing Montreal tonight. They lead 1-0 in the first period.
Wouldn't it be something if the Bruins and the Carolina Hurricanes make it and Toronto finds themselves out?
That would be unbelievable, wouldn't it?
Oh, they are.
With everything that's gone on in Toronto, they made a lot of changes in the offseason to try and get tougher. And that puck goes over the glass, shot around by Terreri, but it did nick the top of the glass and go off. But the fact that Toronto, everything that's gone on there, Eric Lindros situation, the team went out, they got Gary Roberts and they got Shane Corson, signed those players, unrestricted free to get tougher to be able to compete better in the playoffs. For them to miss at this point would be maybe the biggest news of the year.
The Bruins are 9th in the conference with 82 points. That's 1 fewer than Carolina, but only 4 fewer than the Maple Leafs. And the Bruins have 1 extra game to play. They've got 4 left. Toronto has only 3.
And pardon me, it would not be the biggest news of the year. Mario Lemieux is the biggest news of the year. Maybe the biggest team news of the year.
I guess we've almost taken that for granted already. We've gotten so used to seeing 66 back out there, even though he took tonight off.
He dominated that game Saturday against St. Louis. St. Louis led that game 3-1. Pittsburgh had 8 shots on goal through 2 periods, and Mario Lemieux single-handedly took over that game on Saturday and won that game for Pittsburgh 5-3 to clinch a playoff spot. And Eddie Johnston, who has been around, was a GM and coached in Pittsburgh, and talked to him before the game. He says that's the best he's seen Mario Lemieux play in 10 years. The things that he did in that game, he said, just unbelievable.
Well, on one level, the Islanders don't mind not having to deal with Lemieux tonight. Penguins go offside here. But remember, there's another side to it also. The Penguins have clinched a playoff spot, and so they're figuring, well, it's the Islanders, last place team in the league, so we could afford to rest Lemieux, or Mario could afford to decide to take the night off. Well, Eric Cairns wasn't all that thrilled when he got the news that Mario would not play in tonight's game.
I heard this morning that Mario wasn't playing. I was a little disappointed. I mean, I know we're one of the, lower teams in the league, and, people want to rest guys against us. They think it's going to be easy. It's kind of a slap in the face, to tell you the truth. And it bothers me a little bit, but, it's not, like I said, it's not going to change our game plan.
Now, have your teammates used what you just said as motivation for this game, talking about the fact that, boy, they must think this is going to be a cakewalk?
No, well, I haven't really got to talk to too many people, but I just heard it myself, so I'm sure we're going to use that before the game, though. We're going to, talk about it, like, it is kind of an annoying thing, a little slap in the face test. So I mean, we need to get motivated, and that's one of the things that's going to help us.
Howie, I don't think that Mario Lemieux decided to take this game off because it was the Islanders. I think the fact that they clinched a playoff spot, and he said earlier that he was going to play the rest of the games, or at least until they clinched a playoff spot. And the fact that Pittsburgh now does not play for they've got 4 days off after this game. So why not? Why not rest Mario Lemieux at this point? And from Eric Cairns' position, I mean, as a competitor, especially him going against Lemieux in the great battles that they've had, it's a real challenge, and players look forward to that. And that's one reason why he's disappointed. I don't think Mario Lemieux at all decided to do this because it was the Islanders, the 30th place team in the league. I think it happened to be because of the schedule. They clinched the playoff spot, and maybe because they play a little bit more physical against them.
Well, pretty good first period here, and it was physical. And it did feature Jaromir Jagr scoring a goal, but then leaving the ice as the effects of an injury that he seemed to suffer during the pregame warm-up. He hurt his hand in the warm-up, and now we're just being told that apparently there was a problem with Jagr's pants. And that's what forced him to the room. Oh, listen, you can't make this stuff up.
No, you can't.
1-1 at the end of one. We'll leave the rest of this to Crispy.
To all the weekend warriors who push themselves to the limit, the sports medicine experts and orthopedic specialists of Continuum Hospitals are thankfully here to help.
Simply the best.
Michelle Kwan, Brian Boitano, Elvis Stoico, Nicole Bobek, Todd Eldridge, Victor Petrenko, and more. The world's best skaters, live like you've never seen them before. Don't miss John Hancock Champions on Ice.
Coming to Nassau Coliseum. Tickets go on sale this Monday.
See it, hear it, live it. Connect at the Wiz. Sharper pictures, clearer sound, the hottest, the latest. Whatever it is, it's at the Wiz.
Avis intermission report here at Nassau Coliseum. We're tied at 1 after one period. A goal by Jaromir Jagr, one by Bill McCall, who'll join us in just a moment. The Avis Player of the Year voting continues. The current leader is Dave Scatcherd, 1-866-674-3769. Other candidates receiving votes at this point in time: Maris Tchaikovsky, Roman Hammerlick, Kenny Janssen, called the point. Receiving the most votes, I should say. We're joined by Bill McCall. Team gets off to a good start, a 1-0 lead, but Pittsburgh is so lightning quick on the offense and the counterattack, aren't they?
Well, yeah, I think they got some premier forwards, some of the best players in the world with Jagr, Kovalev, and Straka, and some guys like that. So it's a big challenge for our line, you know. The coaching staff wants Sketch, Taylor Pyatt, myself to play. So anyway, you know, we're just trying to do the best we can.
Now, without Mario Lemieux here, have you noticed a little upbeat in terms of the energy of the Pittsburgh Penguins trying to make up for his absence?
Well, it certainly, I don't miss him, I tell you that much. But he's a great player, and he adds a lot to their team, obviously. And, you know, it doesn't matter. They're deep. They're probably one of the most talented teams up front in the National Hockey League, or the most. So, like I said, it's a big challenge for us to play well defensively as a team.
Let's take a look at your goal and tell us if something hit it on the way in or somebody hit it, if you can explain what happened.
Well, Garth Snow tried to go around the boards, and I played with Garth in Vancouver, so I know his tricks.
Which are?
Well, actually, it was just a lucky bounce, and you know, sometimes the breaks, that's the way they fall, and came out to me, and I just tried to rip it on net, and Snowy couldn't quite get back in time.
You know, the Rangers got a goal like that the other night. You know, it seemed like right in that corner, the Rangers got a bounce like that, and that led to a goal as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's
that's
in that corner, by the way?
That's the game. A game of bounces, and you know, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't, so you just got to go out there and work hard. And I think that corner's a mystery corner. I think that's where Brad Isbister took one off the jaw. You got to really watch yourself down there.
All right, at home lately, not a lot of success after the good solid road trip. How do you guys turn that around? I mean, you've got to be a better home team if you want to have success.
Oh, no question. You know, you want to set the tone at home and make the other team aware that it's going to be a long night. And you know, I think as we start to win and develop, the crowd will get more into it, but there's no question we got to set the tone and start building.
All right, thanks to Bill McCall. Nice hair, by the way. We'll be back. More of our intermission activities after these words. We're tied at 1.
Some people have a passion for driving. One such person is engineer Chris Marr. For the all-new GMC Yukon XL Denali, Chris and the team paired a 320 horsepower V8 to full-time all-wheel drive for a mix of power and agility found in no other SUV. To quote Chris, who says you can't teach a big dog new tricks? Introducing the GMC Yukon XL Denali.
Introducing the Comic View All-Stars, new on home video. Featuring Cedric the Entertainer, D.L. Hughley, some more and more as you've never seen them before. Call this toll-free number now and get Comic View All-Stars Volume 1. Use your credit card and we'll throw in a second video, Comic View Unleashed, featuring performances so outrageous they can't be shown on TV. You'll get 2 incredible tapes for $19.99. But that's not all. Call with your credit card in the next 10 minutes, and we'll cut the price in half. We'll send you both great videos for only $9.99.
Sookie now.
Every month, preview another video by the wildest crew ever to set foot on stage. Keep only the ones you want, cancel anytime. So call now.
Call 1-800-956-6622 to order Comic View All-Stars for only $9.99. Use your credit card and get a second video free. Call now.
Your defending Eastern Division champion Metro Stars are a favorite to go all the way in 2001. Don't miss out on an exciting season of affordable family fun and entertainment. Be a part of high-flying Major League Soccer action as the Metro Stars make their run at the MLS Cup. Catch the Metro Stars on Saturday, April 7th versus the New England Revolution. Game time 7 p.m. at Giant Stadium. The first 10,000 fans receive a Fabuloso team calendar and a Pepsi schedule magnet. Metro Stars Soccer, it's your game. We're your team.
Sam Ryan here with the Avis Intermission Report. After one period of play, the Islanders and the Penguins all tied up at 1. We're going to send it back out to the Coliseum for the second period in just a bit. But the latest on the Darryl Strawberry search, the former Yankee is safe and in a hospital tonight after disappearing from a drug treatment center last week. Now, a close friend said he is okay. They put him in the hospital to make sure he's taken care of. Earlier today, friends of Darryl said they had received a phone call indicating the former slugger had been kidnapped. That's not the case. Police say Straw is still considered a fugitive for violating house arrest. Well, opening day from the majors today, the Yankees and the Royals at the stadium this afternoon. Royals up 2-1 in the 6th. Jeff Suppan, 3-0 pitch to Bernie Williams. He's all over that one to dead center. The 2-run shot gives the Yankees the 3-2 lead. So after Suppan walked Tino Martinez and David Justice, Tony Coggin replacing him, actually his major league debut, and Posada rolls out the big fat welcome mat. Launches this one deep to left, so everyone's going to score. 3-run shot, 6-2 Yankees. Part of a 5-run inning for New York. Roger Clemens going for a piece of history. 1 strikeout away, and he got it there, top of the 9th against Joe Randa, his 5th of the game. 3,509 of his career, so the Yankees go on for the victory. 7-3. Jorge Posada went 3 for 4. Home run, drove in 4 runs. Bernie Williams, Tino Martinez also homered for New York, and Clemens making history, becoming the American League strikeout king. Needed 5 to pass Walter Johnson. As you saw, he did that in the 9th inning. Back to the ice we go. The Devils and the Blackhawks skating at the Meadowlands tonight. First period now, Chicago up 2-1. Deep in the Devils' end, Tony Amonte to Alexei Zhamnak, who says right back at you, mate. Amonte beats Beezer, his 34th of the season. Gives the Blackhawks the 3-1 lead over the Devils. Steve Sullivan and Steve Dubinsky with the other Chicago goals in this one. Peter Sikora put the Devils on the board, his 34th of the season. Elsewhere from the ice tonight, we see the Bruins with a 2-0 lead over the Canadiens. Bill Guerin has his 40th of the season for Boston. It's Buffalo up on Florida 2-1 in the first, and just about to get underway, the Flames visiting the Stars. And coming up immediately following New York Islanders hockey, it's the New York Sports Report. Steve Cangelosi is in Atlanta, and we'll have more on the Mets, who open tomorrow against the Braves. Plus, Mike Hill was at Yankee Stadium today with a report on the Yankees opening day. We'll also keep you up to date on the National League Championship game, which is later on tonight. That's between Arizona and Duke. It's all coming up following New York Islanders hockey, the New York Sports Report with Bob Wischusen and me. That's it for us for now. Back out to the Coliseum for the second period between the Islanders and the Penguins after these words. We'll see you after the second period.
Messes. Call Labor Ready at 1-800-24-LABOR or go to laborready.com. Labor Ready. Get some help.
When we launched Verizon Wireless,
We didn't just create affordable coast-to-coast calling plans with no roaming or long-distance charges. We created an entirely new kind of wireless communications company. Single rate, only from Verizon Wireless. Join in.
Log on to the coolest game. NHL.com lets you listen to every game live. Get breaking news, real-time scores, and the hottest video clips. Play fantasy hockey, check super detailed stats, and interact with other fans from anywhere in the world. The NHL.com network gives you access to every team's site. Customize your favorite team jersey and get cool NHL merchandise.
Sir, you ordered this?
Sure did. Cool.
NHL.com. If it's hockey, it's here.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
The Armor Yager won. The Islanders won. Avis Intermission Report continues. Mike Crispino, Ed Westfall. And I told you so in the pregame. Jaromir Jagr is a difference maker. The game is tied. If he needs $10 million, bring him on. Pittsburgh won't pay him.
Absolutely.
Islanders could use him.
Jaromir Jagr is going to get 50 goals this year. He's got 49 now, okay? You put him on this team right now, and if he got 30 goals, everybody would say, you're going to pay him $10 million, you're going to give him 30 goals, and you still don't make the playoffs? Why waste all that money? I like Joe Micheletti's idea. I think the same way. You take the money, you spend it on developing the young players, you develop the ones here. Yeah, they tried to do a little of that by getting some older players in here with some more experience. Didn't quite work out.
They picked the wrong players?
Well, yeah, a little bit. Anyway, you can't just get players because they're experienced. You got to know what their character is like, what their personality is like, and are they really the kind of player that's going to be interested in helping you not only play better but develop the young players.
Now, I think we see that.
That's scouting.
We see that in Chris Terreri. I think we see that in Terreri and maybe not in John Van Beesbrook. But how about the fan in the stands? Come on, give him something to pay it. Put the money down. Give him something to look at.
If there's a game plan. If you bankrupt the payroll of this hockey club now with one player and they don't go anywhere, it's the same old, same old, same old. You can't do that. If you're going to be the Islanders of '72, they didn't plan on being in the playoffs for at least 5 years. They made it in 3 because they had a game plan and they stuck to it. They didn't waver from it, and they brought in guys like me.
I knew it was coming around to him, but it's been seven years.
No, J.P. Parisi,
going on 8.
J.P. Parisi,
9
Drew,
years,
and Bert
10
Marshall.
years. There are no J.P. Parisis.
Well,
there are no Ed Westfall.
Yes, there are.
10 years we're going to wait for a playoff team?
You got to scout and find them.
Oh, the premier of patience, Eddie Westfall, will be back.
It just looked like I was kissing her. Buzz me in. Baby, what are you doing? Come on, baby. I can explain. I don't even. These aren't mine. Whose are these?
Just in case you find yourself needing a little extra room, Ford Focus has more cargo space than anything else in its class. And right now, get a Ford Focus starting at $12,970.
Okay. All right, it's not what you think. Oh, thanks a lot, man.
Visit your Tri-State Quality Ford store today.
Oh, baby, come on.
You have reached a Gecko. You probably wanted Geico, which could save you hundreds on car insurance. Don't be embarrassed. Happens all the time. Have a nice day.
Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. At least you'll feel smart when the car insurance bill arrives. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Simply the best. Michelle Kwan, Brian Boitano, Elvis Stoico, Nicole Bobek, Todd Eldridge, Victor Petrenko, and more. The world's best skaters, live like you've never seen them before. Don't miss John Hancock Champions on Ice.
Coming to Nassau Coliseum. Tickets go on sale this Monday.
New York Islanders hockey is brought to you in part by the New York Lottery. Have you bought your lotto ticket yet? You could win millions. New York Lotto. Play today. And by the Fox News Channel. We report, you decide.
Well, nice to see Yager's got those pants working again.
No, you can't play this game without pants on.
No, this is a pants league. But he's got them pulled up after scoring the tying goal because the Islanders went in front.
Well, there's a little dump in by Cairns. Garsnow comes out, throws it around the glass, hits that stanchion by the gate over there, comes straight back the other way. Good play by Bill McCult as he just turned, fired it into the empty net. The Islanders led it 1-0, but Pittsburgh came right back. And Yager ends up getting a goal. Great save right there by Terreri on Morozov. Verdina tries to set up the defenseman Moran, who can't put it in. And then no one picked up Yager, who put it into the empty net on the other side, and that tied the game at a goal apiece.
Yeah, again, we're not making this stuff up. Jaromir Jagr, who hurt his hand in the pregame warm-ups and then went to the bench early shaking his hand. Actually had a problem with his pants that sent him to the room, but he did take part in our United scoring summary of the first period. Brought to you by United, helping people stay united. So Jagr ready. We'll start on the right wing with Hrdina taking the draw, Morozov on left wing. And Kuchera and Moran forming the Pittsburgh defense. Sketcher, Paul Hyatt for the Islanders. Cairns and Chara back. And it's Hrdina throwing one all the way down. And just like that, the Penguins have iced the puck. 13 seconds into the second period, they'll bring it deep into the Pittsburgh zone. And there is the, you know, it's like three tenors, Joe. You know, you got Pavarotti, and then you got Julio Iglesias, and then you got the other guy. Who's the other guy?
Who was the second guy?
It's Iglesias, Julio Iglesias, wasn't it?
You're kind of mumbling that. Normally you enunciate so well.
I'm not big on them. I can't recite their entire greatest hits album, but Hrdina is to the Penguins what that third guy is to the three tenors.
Julio Iglesias?
Iglesias.
Okay.
Hey, you should appreciate that stuff.
I don't think he's in that same league with Pavarotti, but if you think he is, that's
Oh,
fine.
no, I know who it was. It was that guy who sang, the big fat Placido something or other.
Domingo.
That's it.
Placido Domingo.
Yeah, he's Portland.
No, he's not as Portland, I don't think, as Pavarotti.
That's another league altogether there. Here's Jagr throwing one across for Cairns. Was that for all the girls? It was either him or Willie Nelson.
Yeah, but that's a different kind of music.
Well, so what we're saying is Willie Nelson can be interchanged with Placido Domingo. Willie Nelson could be one of the three tenors.
We'll go with it.
I don't know what the third guy's name is, but it's like, who's the third guy with Lang and Lemieux, with Jagr and Lemieux, and it's Hrdina. That's where we were going there, in case nobody could figure it out, and that would certainly be understandable. Minute 10 gone here in the second. Connolly behind the net. And here comes Parrish. The point up on the left wing. Parrish carries it, dumps, and then chases. Bugner in front of him. Now these two, at least Lapointe and Bugner, got together rather vigorously in front of the Pittsburgh goal in the first period. Connolly fans, and the puck taken off by Straka. Up the right wing, shut off by Hammerlin. Lapointe tries to send Parrish in. Connolly goes to the net. Parrish put it behind him, and then Lapointe chops it towards the Pittsburgh goal. Kasparaitis starts play moving the other way, playing into the Islanders zone. Lapointe back after him. They tie each other up, but it squirts feet to Ferentz, and Andrew Ferentz just wrists one that's knocked away by Terreri. Now Parrish, soft cross corner dump, allowing for an Islander line change. Ferentz up the middle, nobody home. Well, they wave icing off, and Galley will play it behind the Islander net.
Quick shifts by both teams, trying to establish some flow, and this period has started off very conservative by both teams. See Pittsburgh making sure that they have players back in the neutral zone, and again, this is a Pittsburgh team that's working hard on trying to improve their overall defensive game before the playoffs start.
Primo down the right wing, trying to get around Janssen, who lost his stick. Then Primo tries to go short side, and Terreri grabs it.
Kenny Janssen broke his stick trying to defend against Primo. And then with Janssen without a stick, Primo, that left him free to handle the puck. And he tried to stuff it, go around the net, try and stuff it in. Terreri made a good save and then just picked up the puck with his blocker hand. Here it is again. Now watch the play here by Kenny Janssen. There goes the stick. Tries to defend with the stick and then tries to throw the stick to knock the puck off the stick of Primo. And Primo didn't like that. So Kenny Janssen gets a new stick. Played well, hasn't he, since coming back from the knee injury? Played real well.
Probably his best hockey in the last 2 years. Well, last year was an off year for Kenny. And the problems with the concussions. Right now, the faceoff will be deep in the Islanders zone. The draw, Kasparaitis sails one over the net. Berube for the Islanders.
Now, McKenna and Webb are both fortunate that Kasparaitis had his head up and shot that high, because they tried to defend against one another. They both went down in the line of fire. And Kasparaitis, I believe how he looked up just at the last minute and said, I got to shoot over these two. They were both defenseless. Webb and McKenna off the faceoff. And so that's why that shot went high. Montreal's players try and go through. Look at them. They both go down right there. And that puck went this way, up and over both of them, as Kasparaitis had his head up. And now we got the fourth lines for both teams on the ice. Berube on one side with Oliva, and Webb on the other wing against McKenna.
Branislav Meze paired with Janssen on defense across to Kenny. And now Martins carries in. Oh, Kasparaitis went after him with a hip. Martins just got out of the way. Meze gets a stick on that pass intended for Oliva and plays the body on Oliva.
I didn't mention Martins against Tibbetts on the faceoff. It was a joke.
Little bit. Yeah.
I know it's been a long year, but
it really has been. Terreri with a save there on Oliva. Yeah, Steve just works so hard anyway.
Martins and Tibbetts.
I know.
I might try it again later.
Well, Fan Appreciation Day is coming up here on Friday. Alan Hahn's got the Sharpie going. He's got crayons. He's got personalized pictures that he will attach to those T-shirts that will be given away courtesy of Newsday. So Fan Appreciation Day this Friday. Islanders and Ottawa Senators and all fans get an Islanders T-shirt courtesy of Alan Hahn and Newsday. There they are
Alan.
after the battle.
Right there. Oh, no, he knows he's on. He's telling his wife right now. He said, I'm about 5,000 T-shirts behind. I got to get busy this week.
If the right hand goes to the forehead, then you know somebody's telling him, yep, they're setting you up for signing those shirts again.
There it is, T-shirt right there, Alan Hahn.
He said he got a bunch of emails. First time we mentioned it, said he got a bunch of emails the next day wanting to know, would he be able to personalize some of those autographs? Would he have that kind of time? He'll have that kind of time. We'll make sure of it. Terreri holds on. Might say this first period's been a little sluggish at the beginning.
This is the second period, Howie.
See what I mean? I'm just testing you. It's like that Martins and Tibbetts thing. That's right.
Well, you got me then.
Well, next time Martins and Tibbetts are ready to go, we'll be prepared. This period was pretty good, actually. Moran winds it in behind the net. Yager after it, takes a shove from Eric Cairn. And now Chara works it up the boards. But it gets right to Scatchard. Scatchard with McCall. Scatchard shoots, he scores! Number 20 for Dave Scatchard. He's got the milestone he wanted. And the Islanders take a 2-1 lead. There's not a harder working guy on this team. The 20 goals is a career high. And he's talked recently about how much getting number 20 would mean to him. Well, now he's got it. I think he wants the puck, too.
I think so. I don't know if anyone got it. The 2-on-1, defenseman Ian Moran was caught on the play. So that left Kuchera as the only defenseman back. Scatchard also played with Garth Snow in Vancouver. And he uses the wrist. He's looking to pass, and then the quick release. Beautiful release through the legs of Snow. And the Islanders lead it 2-1.
So, Dave Scatchard, who has been named the Islander of the Year by the Islanders in-house publication, Game Time magazine, kind of builds on distinction. Chara pick up his assists. Hey, Taylor Pyatt's got assists in 3 straight games now. Taylor Pyatt getting on the score sheet here towards the end of the season, even though it's been 43 for him since his last goal.
No, but you know what? He's playing better hockey. I think he's fitting real well with McCult and with Scatchard. And they seem to have a real good feel for one another, and congratulations to him. I mean, if anybody deserves that, to reach that plateau, it's Dave Scatchard, who was kind of, to a certain extent, cast away by the Vancouver Canucks, even though Brian Burke liked him as a player and told him so.
Got a funny way of showing it.
Well, yeah, but he didn't fit into the coach's plans, Mark Crawford. And so he wasn't playing much under Mark Crawford. And so Brian Burke did the next best thing, tried to make it, made a deal, and moved on.
Think about
but
that deal.
He did tell Scatchard how much he appreciates what he does and how he plays. And this is a nice milestone for him.
Think about what's developed all around since that deal. Islanders get not only Scatchard, they get Bill McCall, who's been a very useful player, along with Kevin Weeks, who they turn into, of course, with the addition of Christian Kudrock, who'd been a #1 pick, they turn him into, what was it, the 5th overall pick last year in Rafi Torres.
Correct.
And, then you look at what's happened to Felix Potvin ever since then. Well, Potvin certainly struggled in Vancouver. Felix Potvin, though, for whom Scatchard, McCall, and Weeks were traded by the Islanders, he gets named the player of the month of the National Hockey League. And if the LA Kings get into the playoffs, I think Felix Potvin, hands down, the biggest reason why, along with the resurgence of Zygmunt Palffy down the stretch.
At the time when Brian Burke made that trade, within his own division, LA was out of the playoffs. Vancouver was solidly in the playoffs, but were healthy. And Felix Potvin he couldn't stop anything in Vancouver. The fans were all over him. He was making a lot of money, so Brian Burke was able to make a deal to someone who would pick up the entire remainder of his contract, which was about $800,000. And also, there's I believe, a conditional draft pick in there, which could be high now that they're doing well. And Felix Potvin has been terrific, and they play Vancouver tonight and one more time. And out of Vancouver's final 3 games, 2 are against LA, and they'll face Felix Potvin. You're right, they could knock him out of the playoffs.
How good's Felix been in LA? 11-4-4 with 5 shutouts.
Yeah, and he's working on back-to-back shutouts now as they go into tonight's game against Vancouver. We're rushing home to watch that one.
Lang with a shot that's deflected. Kovalev trying to throw it in front, and Parrish just dumps it softly ahead for the Islanders.
You talk about bad luck too. And Vancouver was having one of those years where everything was going right, but they were healthy, and then they lose their top scorer, Marcus Naslund, for the year, top goal scorer. I mean, he's a tremendous player.
Broken leg, right?
Yeah, broken leg. So they had to put a steel rod in his leg, so he's out. Andrew Castles has been out, their second leading scorer. I don't think he'll be back until the playoffs, if they make the playoffs. One of the Sedin twins was out as well. So they just can't score any goals. They cannot score goals.
Gavasha puts one off of the leg of Kasparaitis. Now in behind, it's Kolnick turning on Bugner. And to help for the Islanders, Cherkovsky. Kasparaitis with a good hit on Gavasha behind the net.
And Howie, that's the Islanders too. I mean, they've had trouble scoring goals all season. They were hoping for big years.
Going to be a penalty to the Penguins here. There was a takedown of Kolnick in front. And the Islanders are going to go to the power play when we get back. The Islanders leading 2-1.
Fox News Channel, the most powerful name in news, giving you the power to decide. Special Report with Britt Hume, powerful on politics. The Fox Report with Shepard Smith, powerful information. The O'Reilly Factor with Bill O'Reilly, powerful confrontation. Hannity and Combs, powerful debate. The Edge with Paula Zahn, powerful perspective. The most powerful name in news, Fox News Channel. We report, you decide.
The wonder of it all. Take a chance, make it happen. Pop the cork, finger snapping. Spin the wheel, round and round we go. Life is good, life is sweet. Grab yourself a front row seat. Let's meet and have a ball. Let's live. Yeah, let's live for the wonder me at Foxwoods.
Foxwoods.
Islanders lead this game 2-1. They'll go back on the power play as Darius Kasparaitis trying to get back to the front of the net. Watch the hit from behind on Kolnick. Kolnick goes down. Kasparaitis doesn't like the call, but nonetheless makes his way to the penalty box. And so the Islanders in the faceoff deep in the Pittsburgh zone get a chance to extend their lead.
I mean, not like the call. He does that stuff to his own guys in practice. I mean, he does that when he wakes up in the morning. Just knocks something over in the house.
Waves it off. Should have been nailed down.
He's got a point. At least based on his thought process. So Islander power play. Kabasha down the middle. Takes it to the corner. Has help from Cherkovsky, but turned the puck over. And it's shot all the way down by Morozov.
You know, Howie, I was mentioning the fact about Vancouver having trouble scoring now that they've got some of their top players out, and that's been the one thing one of the things that's hurt the Islanders is they were hoping for big years from Tim Connolly and Oleg Kabasha, and it hasn't happened in the middle, and that's really hurt, and that's why Kabasha is really getting extensive ice time now in these final games, playing an awful lot on the power play, killing some penalties, regular shifts. And I think, you know, he's one of those people that they've got to make a decision on, and as to, you know, where he is slotted on this team as they go into next year. Because without question, they're going to have to find a way to score more goals next season.
Alexei Kovalev chips one ahead, gets it back from Primo. Now Kovalev working on Galley. Kovalev misses with a sharp angle backhander. And now Galley gets it back. 35 seconds left to the Kasparaitis penalty. Oh, the point checked by Moran. And Kovalev dumps it back off the board. 20 seconds left to the Islander power play.
Now Connolly got hurt. He got hit by Kovalev. He's slow to get up. No penalty being called on the play. Connolly was hoping that there would be one. And when he stayed down on the ice, the whistle blew because of the possibility of an injury. And then Kovalev just kind of skated over, went over, gave him a little tap. Connolly was trying to make a turn just as Kovalev was hitting him. And when he made the turn, there's Connolly, and watch as he's turning. Just as Kovalev was coming in, not a real hard hit, but he went in funny because he was turning and went a little off balance. Watch him start turning to his left and a little off balance. And went in maybe kind of knees first into the boards and stayed down for a period of time. The whistle blew, and then he was able to get back to his feet and make his way to the bench.
Jaromir Jagr has been at the very end of the Pittsburgh Penguins bench for a good chunk of this second period. We have not seen much of Jaromir Jagr, which leads me to believe that there might be a little more to that pants problem than meets the eye, if you will. Garth Snow. Fling that stick in frustration after covering the puck up?
Well, I don't think so. I think if anything, Scatchard went to the front of the net and try and get the puck loose. And there you saw Snow right there. Even give Scatchard another little bit of a jab. Remember, they were teammates in Vancouver. And now Jagr says, "I'm tired of this. Stracco, why don't you go over and take the
you handle the gate,
the NC? Right? Yeah, you handle the gate."
I don't know, Joe. If they were telling us as they were at the end of the period, at least that's the word we got from downstairs, he had a problem with his equipment, and specifically his pants. We know he hurt his hand in the warm-up. You saw him shaking his hand out and receiving some medical attention on the bench earlier. I don't know. If it's an equipment thing, you straighten that stuff out between periods. Considering how little Jagr's been out here in the second, I wonder if the hand is the bigger problem right now than the haberdashery. Kasparaitis out of the box. Throws one to the net. Terreri says no. Islanders had one shot on that just concluded power play. Scatchard from Meze. Branislav Meze drives one hard off the end boards. And Snow gets some help from the officials, God bless him. And the puck winds up clear to the crowd. And here comes Jaromir Jagr for what's been one of his few appearances here in the second period, which is halfway through.
You know, Zdeno Chara was sitting on the bench and was looking at the Pittsburgh bench, and when he saw Jagr start climbing over the boards, he got up, looked at the coaches and said, I think it's my turn. And away he goes over the boards along with his partner, Eric Cairns.
So he's got 3 consecutive Art Ross trophies. That's the middle entry there, the consecutive scoring titles. Only 3 players in the history of the league have done it for 4 or more years in a row. Probably guys you can figure out without too much trouble. Wayne Gretzky, Gordie Howe, and a guy who's now an agent for the Bubble Boys, Phil Esposito.
He's great on those commercials, isn't he?
He was born for that role. It's perfect. You haven't seen those Bud Light commercials yet where Phil plays an agent for the Bubble players? Oh, it's great. Vintage Espo.
And he's just being himself.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, boy. Here's Jagr into the zone. Nice feed to Morozov. Shot goes off of Cairns. Now Bugner chops one that's broken up by Webb. Ahead to the squeaking Martins. And Steve Martins lets one go, and it's turned away by Garth Snow. Webb gets together along the boards with Hrdina. Spins Webb around, and Bugner gets back to the puck. 9:23 remaining in the second period. Jagr with his 49th goal in the first period. One away from a milestone. It would be just his second 50-goal year in the National Hockey League. Kabasha off the boards. Didn't get it far enough away from Straka. Then the puck dented, and Kolnick sends Kabasha ahead. Batted away at the line by Kuchera. Up comes Tibbetts. Now to Oliwa. Throws it in front. That's broken up. And back the other way comes Tchaikovsky. Played by Moran to force the turnover. And Oliva shoots it in deep. Terreri trying to play it to the corner. It hit McKenna. He centers. And Oliva's shot stopped by Terreri, who was never quite sure where that puck was. Terreri was in good position to make the save, but then lost sight of it. And now Connolly just fires it off the boards. Good keep at the line by Ferentz. And then he blasts one off the glass, and it curls to the crowd. 8:25 remaining in the second period. 2-1 Islanders.
See it, hear it, live it. Connect at The Wiz. Sharper pictures, clearer sound, the hottest, the latest. Whatever it is, it's at The Wiz.
This is a very exciting piece.
Really?
First off, 7. Very popular number. See how beautifully it shines? And notice the bonus. Do you have any idea what it could be worth?
Not a clue.
Well, I saw one in Oneonta bring $21,000.
Oh my!
Oh my. How much did you pay for this?
$2.
You have a very good eye.
Not really. There are hundreds of them down at the grocery.
Bonus 7s, new from the New York Lottery. Over $31 million in prizes.
Back at Nassau Coliseum, where the Islanders have a 2-1 lead over the Pittsburgh Penguins. The other night in Boston, they got 2 goals from their defense. 31 on the season of the 176. Isles have had trouble scoring goals that we've been talking about. But Roman Hamrlik's done a nice job. 14 goals for him on the season. I spoke to him before the game about coming back from that hip pointer and the groin problems. He'd never had that before. Told me he talked to Jaromir Jagr about it and what to do about it. And Jagr said, you got to just relax and rest for a couple weeks. That's what he did when he missed those 6 games, feeling much better. But he said the sharp pain that he got when he had the hip pointer really kind of shocked him. He had never experienced anything like that before, so he plans on a good hard summer of workouts. He's going to move back home about 3.5 hours southeast of Prague. He has built a new home there, and he'll spend time with family and friends and enjoy the summer, but he's going to work hard to make sure that an injury like that won't occur again come next year. That's Roman Hamrlik, one of the top defensemen of the Islanders. Howie, back to you.
And Oliva goes to the box, and so with Hamrlik in the midst of all of that stuff prior to his summer itinerary, the Islanders will have a power play.
Draws a penalty. Watch the left hand of Oliva right here. Takes him harder than the boards. Then gets the arm up. And that's the penalty. So Christoph Oliva takes the penalty. The Islanders go back on the power play. Leading it 2-1. 8:05 to go here in period number 2. Shots on goal favor the Penguins 16-14. And Hamrlik will stay on the ice for this Islanders power play.
Hamrlik and Janssen will play the points here with Lapointe, Connolly, and Parrish up front. Lang and Baranek with Kasparaitis and Bugner, the Pittsburgh penalty killers. Kenny Janssen in the Islanders zone. Islanders managing just 2 shots in their first 2 power play chances. Janssen goes hard around, fielded by Lapointe for Connolly. Connolly out from behind. Lapointe a shot. He scores! Good move by Connolly. I don't know, he might have been trying to just bank that off of Garth Snow, but it carried to Lapointe, who beat Snow for a power play goal, and it's 3-1 New York.
Well, Connolly tried to make a move and got drilled by Kasparaitis. Got drilled by Kasparaitis, who was playing the man. And then Lapointe just picks up the loose puck. Watch him try and make this move to the inside. Right there. Whoa! Tries to throw it in front. And that puck goes in the net. I think the net was off the mooring, to tell you the truth. Or it just came up in the back. Let's see where the net is. And they counted nonetheless, even though it was Kasparaitis that bumped into the net. And the net looked like it was off. I mean, he just throws it in the front, hits the side of the net. And then Lapointe follows up with the shot.
Well, I guess, Joe, there's a technicality. Is the net considered dislodged if the posts remain on the pegs, as opposed to the net being
I believe it is,
off the
Howard.
pegs?
Yeah, I believe it is. And the last look we had, it looked like maybe the net had come back down to the ice. But let's see, this is close. Look at it, it's off. Oh boy.
I think it was still moving.
I think the net was still off the ice. In the back, but the Islanders score the power play goal. That makes it a 3-1 lead.
And here's Lapointe leading Parrish. Might have had a breakaway. Covers the puck. Parrish knocked down to the corner by Lang. He throws it around the boards and all the way down. Probably an icing here. Hamrlik will win the race. And they call the icing. So Claude Lapointe with his 9th from Connolly and Janssen at 12-17.
Well, we'll take another look at the goal on the overhead. And Connolly, just after getting hit, throws the puck and hits the side of the net. Watch it hit right here. There it goes there. And let's see the net. Oh, the net was still off the ice in the back, even though it was Kasparaitis. I believe the correct ruling on that is that if the net goes off and the puck goes in, I believe, I might be wrong.
You know why I'm starting to think, and I don't know this for sure, but I'm starting to think that it's not considered dislodged unless it comes off one of the pegs, because you can use video review to determine whether or not a puck had entered the net before it became, in the vernacular, dislodged. And they can call for that from upstairs. So if the video goal judge had access to that replay, and I'm not sure that he would have seen it before they dropped the puck, but if he felt before the puck dropped that the net might have been wobbled, even though not technically dislodged, they could have gone upstairs to make sure. So maybe it has to come off the
Okay,
pegs.
I'm wrong. All right,
I don't know.
I'll admit it. That was an argument that that I think covered all the bases, and I believe you're right. I believe that the video replay people upstairs noticed that the net was moving, and they probably took a look at it before and it wasn't necessary to call down.
So then all of the proper channels were investigated.
So I'm wrong. Is that what you wanted to hear? Got it.
That was as firm as you've ever said that word. Usually you pull one of those Fonzies with the woo.
Well, I still have some of that left in me.
Kolnick with a blast and a glove save by Garth Snow.
And then Meze and Lacouture come together. I think some of the Pittsburgh players are starting to get a little incensed. That was a good last save by Gar Snow. And again, Gar Snow hasn't had much work in a couple of months. There's the trip and the shot. Watch the glove hand. That's a good hard shot by Kolnick. I was talking to Lauren Henning about Kolnick before the game, and he really thinks that Kolnick has a chance to play in the league. He likes the way he thinks the game. He still has to get stronger, and he'll do more of that work in the offseason. But this has been a good opportunity. He passes the puck well. We saw the shot there. He can shoot the puck very well. And he thinks he's got a chance to play.
Well, there goes that net again.
Yep.
Let's find the video, guys. Well, the puck doesn't go in, so everybody's off the hook. And here comes Jágr up the right wing in the Islanders zone. Jágr for Ferentz. Quick shot off the pads of Terreri, who covers up. 6:08 remaining in the second period.
And Chris Terreri has been steady in his second game against Pittsburgh for the Islanders. That one he was in good position. Down to the ice, off the shoulder. I think he probably was screened on the plane, was able to make the save and hold on. And that man right there, Rick DiPietro, will play on Wednesday night against the Maple Leafs. Lauren Henning said he wanted to make sure DiPietro had a couple of good days of practice, which they did prior to him playing against that Carolina, in the Carolina game, which was, I think, his best game of the year. He's a fragile kid. At 19, who's not playing at this level?
It's the operative term or number right there, 19. Scatchered a shot, steered aside by Snow. And now Pyatt plays it down the boards. And Hrdina finds Morozov moving at center. Just because Rick DiPietro came up this year, that doesn't mean the Islanders necessarily have to be married to him as one of their goaltenders for next year if they feel that he just might need more seasoning. We were talking about in the pregame show about patience. You get a kid that you think is a franchise goaltender. There's no need to rush him along.
Well, especially I think when you have new ownership that has, that are long-term thinkers. They have plenty of patience. So the Islanders lead this game 3-1. 5 minutes to go in the second.
We know sweat on hardwood, blood on ice, flesh on diamonds, rings and ties. We know hearts beat stronger, hopes hope harder. For victory, our souls we barter. We know karmic waves of pride and glory. And when pain's the only story, we know the tears you're concealing. You know we know the feeling.
Mr. and Mrs. Pfeffercorn? Hey, it's me, Steve, the kid from next door. Sorry about the rhododendrons. Anywho, Jeff here needs a computer.
Hi, Mom.
Now, Mr. Pfeffercorn, here's the deal. You can get our friend Jeff a complete Dell system with an Intel Pentium 3 processor for only...
Ta-da!
Tell them what they get, Jeff.
We get speakers, a monitor, a keyboard, a mouse.
Very good, Jeff. And if you guys order now, you get a free CD burner upgrade. And Mrs. Pfefferby?
That's Pfeffercorn, actually.
Whatever. Dell has award-winning service and support.
Perhaps that's why it's America's favorite PC.
Perhaps.
Get this great Dell computer with an Intel Pentium 3 processor for just $7.99. We'll include 1 year of DellNet by MSN Internet Access. Call or go online now, and you'll get a free CD burner upgrade.
Ready? Mr. and Mrs. Bennett, it's me, Steve.
.5:18 to go, second period on the island. The Islanders leading the Pittsburgh Penguins 3-1. Dave Scatchard with his career-high 20th goal in this game. By the way, the Claude Lapointe goal on the power play that made it 3-1 was Lapointe's first power play goal of the year. 9th overall for Lapointe, but his first with a man advantage. And an offside pass there, accepted by Craig Berube with 5:08 remaining in the second period. Well, 19 days from now, the New York Dragons will make their debut in the Arena Football League here at the Nassau Coliseum. Call 1-866-AFL-TIXX or visit NewYorkDragons.com on the web.
They're starting their preseason. In fact, I believe they are playing their first preseason game tonight in Toronto.
You got a score yet?
Maple Leafs are trailing in that one as well.
Pat Quinn is playing tight end in that game, just to work out some of the aggression. Gary Galley takes it from Terreri behind the Islander net. 5 minutes to go here in the second. And now Webb, tugged at by Bugner, and that goes off the glove of Snow. Bugner ahead for McKenna. Steve McKenna with a shot, and that's held by Terreri. This has been an unusual game from the standpoint of it being physical at times, but would you also say it was intense? Was it intense to match the physical stuff that we've seen so far? I don't know that it's been.
Just at times, at times it seems like it's ready to break out. Webb with a good hit there, and Bugner, one of their more physical defensemen. Here it is again. Bugner saw him coming, was able to defend against that hit by Steve Webb. The other thing, we've had a lot of whistles in this second period, so that I think that's had an effect on the flow of this game and the flow of the second period. There hasn't been any sustained pressure by one team or the other.
Once again, Mario Lemieux did not make the trip here with the Penguins. Jaromir Jagr has played occasionally as Terreri is forced to make 2 saves there with Tibbetts and McKenna buzzing in front. Tibbetts out from behind. The stick save by Terreri, who covers up. Tibbetts had some room coming out from behind the goal line.
Well, right from the face-off, this fourth line for Pittsburgh ends up putting some pressure on, and now the Islanders change defenseman. Meze's coming on the edge, but right off the face-off. There's a quick shot by Oliva. That one was kicked out. Rebound kicked out. Kavasha trying to help out defensively here and can't clear the puck. And there's the last opportunity. So this line is big, strong. They go to the net, and Chris Terreri forced to make a couple of pretty good saves.
So that physical line of Tibbetts, McKenna, and Oliva, Kasparaitis, and Bugner, all 5 of them. They like to play it rough. They're out there for Pittsburgh against Lapointe, Connolly, and Parrish for the Islanders. The defense, Janssen and Meze. And Kasparaitis backs up.
Now we saw the Islanders change their defense. Then they elected to make a change up front as well, to take the Kavasha line off the ice and come back with Lapointe, Connolly, and Parrish.
Tibbetts into the zone, surrounded. 4 Islanders were there. And Connolly picked it off. Up comes Lapointe for Connolly. Now to Lapointe in front, but he's beaten to it by Martin Straka. As the Penguins are changing up front. Tibbetts looking for the breaking Straka. Just twists it in behind the Islander goal, and now the Penguins will complete their line change. 3:46 left in the second period. 3-1 New York. Bouncer by Kenny Janssen. Scatchard. Checked into the boards in the corner by Kuchera. And McCall takes a seat. Moran puts him into the boards. Hyatt gets it back. Scatchard in front of the net. Hyatt threw it in front. It went past Scatchard all the way to Cairns. And that shot hit a leg. I believe that of McCall.
I don't think Scatchard saw the pass. If he could have taken one step to his right and reached out with his stick, he would have had a wide open net on the short side.
Kovalev carries in. Onside, Alexei Kovalev to Straka, and a big save by a sliding Terreri. Great setup from Kovalev to Straka.
Best save of the game right there, Howie, by either goaltender.
Roger McCall took that shot in the leg. He had some trouble getting off the ice. Kavasha, nowhere to go. Kovalev trying to get it away from Kolnick in the corner. 2:42 remaining in the second period. Cherkovsky sneaks out for a backhander, and Snow grabs the puck, gets the whistle.
Now what a save by Chris Terreri. Now Kovalev is so difficult to defend against, in particular for a goaltender, because he's got that tremendous wrist shot, but he's got so much talent. You don't know if he's going to shoot. Look at him fake the shot and then the pass. And so Terreri has to play the shot and then react on the pass. And this is just a tremendous save. Look at him playing the shot and then gets over there and just throws his body over there. Because Straka did not waste any time releasing the puck. The puck hardly touched the blade of his stick, and he let it go.
From the draw, Galley to Hammerlick. One-timer missed the net. Hard carom, but Kolnick couldn't tee it up. Montreal has scored at Boston. The Bruins leading 2-1 And a huge game for the Bruins. Guerin and Eloranta for Boston. Saku Koivu as the Montreal goal. That's in the second period. Cherkowski took a tug as he went to the net. Puck is still loose. Cherkowski knocked down. Dallas tried to cover the puck up, but never could. He was well away from the net, too, when he dove out there. Now it dribbles to Snow, and he'll be able to get the whistle. He gave Cherkowski the stick. Remember earlier in the game, Snow very subtly put out his leg trying to chip or trip Cherkowski. And that's an extension of the previous incident, I think.
Yeah, well, Snow went after. Snow saw him coming, and Cherkowski was close, but was turning away. And Snow still used the stick to get Cherkowski going. Again, Snow likes this type of hockey. Here's the end of it, falls on it. Sees Cherkowski go by. You see him with the stick? Just lifts up the stick, gets him on the left elbow. Cherkowski turned and went the other way. Again, watch the stick of Snow. Right there. It's Cherkowski on the left elbow as he's going by, just to irritate him a little bit. And that gets everyone interested.
From the draw, Penguins control. Herdina with Yager and Morozov. They can get it past the check of Zdeno Chara. Good play to break up that 3-on-2 that was developing for Pittsburgh. Minute 45 remaining in the second period. 3-1 Islanders. Chara knocked down, although it appeared that he enhanced it a little bit, but there's going to be a penalty. Now, Paul Stewart's got his arm up. Let's see what he does here. Chara's been known to take a dive now and then, but I think it's going to be Herdina. Yep. With Stewie, you know, he's one of the few.
Well, you got to watch him.
You can't take it for granted.
And there goes Yager heading to the Penguins locker. But we saw him go off the ice with a couple of minutes left in the first period. And now he does the same here in the second period. He did this type of thing last year. And there's Chara going down on the hook. Wasn't much, was it, Howie?
You know what? If he called 2 and 2 here, I wouldn't have had a problem
with
it.
Is this a you, me, and two of our friends trying to take him down? Couldn't do it. He doesn't. And that little stick there.
Well, no, you know, you got to give Morozov credit. He is extremely strong. I mean, he's like as strong as a Jeep. You know, he could lug Chara around the ice all by himself. He's so strong.
That last play was McCulloch getting hit by that shot by Eric Cairns, and that's why he limped off the ice.
Johnson behind the Islander goals. They set up the power play with Morozov in the box. Parrish on left wing. Pulls up. A hit there from Kuchera. Now Connolly in deep. The point's in front of the net. Connolly. And now Janssen. For Hammerlick down low the point. Parrish in front of the net, bothering Snow. Connolly takes the shot. It got through, and Snow somehow saw it and holds it. Parrish gets into a bit of a dance with Ian Moran.
You know, Connolly, I think after, when you think back to the Boston game the other night on the play where they end up, Boston scores the third goal. Connolly, I think, is attempting to just try and shoot the puck a little bit more. You know, and that's probably a time you don't want him to on the power play with time to set it up and a wrist shot from that angle. But I think he's conscious of the fact that the coaching staff is trying to get him to shoot the puck more and don't handle it quite as much. And that will be a process because it's gone on the entire season.
Well, I still say the rule that says that you can't send a kid with junior eligibility to the American Hockey League does not do the player a service at all.
For the team. That's correct.
Darius Kasparaitis lifts one ahead. I mean, if at some point, whether it's Tim Connolly or Taylor Pyatt or a kid that's got junior eligibility left, the Islanders determined that he'd be better off learning the game at the minor league level. They can't do that. The only option would be to send him back to juniors where he has nothing whatsoever to prove. Kasparaitis with a hip check on Cherkowski. Half-minute left in the period. 50 seconds remaining in the Islander power play. Cherkowski keeps going to the corner. Kasparaitis lined him up. Big hit by Darius Kasparaitis. Now Kabasha lets it go and hit a Pittsburgh stick. Bugner goes after it with a pair of Islanders, Tchaikovsky and Kolnick on him. But Kasparaitis takes it away, and the period will run out with Kasper feeding the right wing. Tibbetts accepted it across two lines, the offside pass. So one more stoppage in the second period that's been littered with whistles. 4.4 seconds left.
Now Kasparaitis now having a conversation. He had quite the active shift killing this penalty. Was very physical. Nailed Kavasha, and then Kavasha tried to slow him down with the stick. Gets this hit right there. That's a good hit on Tchaikovsky. A good hip check. And so he was very, very active on that last penalty kill. And one more on Tchaikovsky.
And right there, that's typical Kasper, isn't it?
Oh, he's waving at the referee Paul Stewart across the ice. That's his. Paul Stewart goes over and says anything. He's heading over near the exit where the Pittsburgh Penguins are going off the ice.
Shouldn't be too much of a challenge. Stewie is the easiest referee whose attention it is to get a hold of in the National Hockey League. Crispy's next.
You don't look like me.
Act like me.
Or have the same job.
We're all different. So why should our banks judge us the same when we apply for a mortgage? Now there's a banker that's different, that respects you as an individual. A banker that approves your mortgage on who you are, not who you should be. That understands your need for no income verification. That understands your need for a low down payment and a fast
Yes.
Power Express Mortgage Bankers. We're different because you are.
For the difference, call 1-800-826-BANK.
Simply the best. Michelle Kwan, Brian Boitano, Elvis Stoico, Nicole Bobek, Todd Eldridge, Victor Petrenko, and more. The world's best skaters, live like you've never seen them before. Don't miss John Hancock Champions on Ice.
Coming to Nassau Coliseum. Tickets go on sale this Monday.
Back at Nassau Coliseum, it's the Avis Intermission Report. The Islanders with a 3-1 lead over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Mike Crispino with Ian Moran, and a tough period for your club. They get a power play goal off you. They kind of stymied your offense a little bit in that period. How'd they do that?
In the first period, I think we outshot them and outchanced them, I think, just because we were making smart decisions at the lines. And then that period, for whatever reason, we started trying to get a little too fancy, and they poked the puck up into the forwards' hands, and they've got a quick transition game coming back in the end. That pretty much put us behind the 8 ball.
Gotta be tough for a team like yours. You're in the playoffs. You clinched that against St. Louis. You know pretty much who you might play there. And then you come here to New York to play a game that is sort of meaningless for your team. How difficult is that mentally?
I don't think any game's meaningless. I think, we're looking at the stats before the game. There's a chance that we can still get home ice. And you want to go into the playoffs. You want to be winning. You want to have good habits. You want to be used to making the right plays. And, you definitely don't want to go in, on a losing note.
You've had good success against all the opponents you may play, of course. You've beaten Buffalo in the series in Philadelphia, and you've tied with Washington. Is there any, I know there's no preference, but do you feel comfortable in the sense that you've played well against these teams in the regular season?
I think if you start looking at a team and wishing and hoping to get them, that's when you get into trouble. And, to come out of the East and to win it, you're going to have to beat them all. So I think it doesn't matter if it's in the first round or the third. You're going to have to beat them to come out of the East, so it doesn't matter.
All right, thanks to Ian Moran, and best of luck in the playoffs to him and the Pittsburgh Penguins. 2 periods complete, 3-1 right now. Pittsburgh trails the Islanders.
New York Islanders hockey is brought to you in part by the power of you, your advisor, and Dreyfus. To learn more, call your financial advisor. By Canon Business Solutions, digital technology powered by people. And by GMC, from professional-grade people come professional-grade trucks.
Get some help. Call Labor Ready at 1-800-24-LABOR or go to laborready.com. Labor Ready. We sweep.
Some people have a passion for driving. One such person is engineer Chris Marr. For the all-new GMC Yukon XL Denali, Chris and the team paired a 320 horsepower V8 to full-time all-wheel drive for a mix of power and agility found in no other SUV. To quote Chris, who says you can't teach a big dog new tricks? Introducing the GMC Yukon XL Denali.
Because I failed to upgrade to digital, we're broke. Rather than resign, I've hired a professional scapegoat. Thank you, thank you. Yes, it was all my fault.
If business were that easy, you wouldn't need us. Update your office technology with Canon Business Solutions.
Jim Rome, The Last Word. Weeknights at 11:30 on Fox Sports Net.
Introducing the Comic View All-Stars, new on home video. Featuring Cedric the Entertainer, D.L. Hughley, some more and more as you've never seen them before. Call this toll-free number now and get Comic View All-Stars Volume 1. Use your credit card and we'll throw in a second video, Comic View Unleashed, featuring performances so outrageous they can't be shown on TV. You'll get 2 incredible tapes for $19.99, but that's not all. Call with your credit card in the next 10 minutes, and we'll cut the price in half. We'll send you both great videos for only $9.99.
Sookie now.
Every month, preview another video by the wildest crew ever to set foot on stage. Keep only the ones you want, cancel anytime. So call now.
Call 1-800-956-6622 to order Comic View All-Stars for only $9.99. Use your credit card and get a second video free. Call now.
Your defending Eastern Division champion Metro Stars are a favorite to go all the way in 2001. Don't miss out on an exciting season of affordable family fun and entertainment. Be a part of high-flying Major League Soccer action as the Metro Stars make their run at the MLS Cup. Catch the Metro Stars on Saturday, April 7th versus the New England Revolution. Game time, 7 p.m. at Giant Stadium. The first 10,000 fans receive a Fabuloso team calendar and a Pepsi schedule magnet. Metro Stars Soccer, it's your game. We're your team.
Sam Ryan here with the Avis Intermission Report. After 2 periods of play, the Islanders now lead the Pittsburgh Penguins 3-1. We're going to send it back out to the Coliseum for the 3rd period in just a bit. Well, the search for Darryl Strawberry is over. The former Yankee was arrested at a Tampa hospital tonight, 4 days after disappearing from a drug treatment center. A friend of Darryl's says he is okay. He was taken into custody at St. Joseph's Hospital in Florida. Prosecutors say they will seek a prison sentence for the former slugger. Well, opening day from the majors today. Yankees, Royals at the stadium. Royals up 2-1 in the 6th. Not for long. Jeff Supan, 3-0 pitch to Bernie Williams, who crushes that one to dead center. The 2-run shot puts the Yankees up 3-2. So after Supan, Joaquino Martinez and David Justice, Tony Coggin comes in to replace him. Turned out to be his major league debut. And Jorge Posada shows him something that he didn't want to see. Launches that one deep to left. The 3-run shot puts the Yanks up 6-2. Part of a 5-run inning, and Roger Clemens going for a piece of history, 1 strike away from the all-time strikeout record in the American League, and got that in the top of the 9th against Joe Randa, his 5th of the game, number 3,509 of his career. The Yankees go on for the 7-3 victory. Jorge Posada went 3 for 4, a home run, drove in 4 runs. Roger Clemens, as you saw, made history becoming the American League strikeout king. He needed 5 in this one to pass Walter Johnson, and he did that in the 9th inning. And after the game, we caught up with the Rocket about the milestone.
I think the most important thing is you see how these guys, how we are as a team, how we can play together, and we're trying to win championships. And, you know, and it's been a long time, other than these past 2 years, that you have this type of team, and you have guys that are really, I mean, you don't look at yourself as being a superstar player. You're all together, you know, one. And so we have an opportunity to try and win again, and that's a huge challenge in itself.
Back to the ice, Devils and Blackhawks in New Jersey. Chicago up 3-2, 3rd period, and the Devils with the man advantage. Alexander McGillney, his 42nd of the season from Brian Rafalski. That's the game-tying goal. Ties it up at 3. That's where they are right now. The Blackhawks actually blew a 3-1 lead in this one. Peter Sikora with a goal and an assist. Patrick Elias, a goal and an assist. Elsewhere from the NHL, Montreal and Boston into the Bruins with a 2-1 lead. Sabres 4-2 over the Panthers. After 2, the Flames now trailing the Stars after 1 period of play. Coming up following New York Islanders hockey, New York Sports Report. Steve Cangelosi's in Atlanta. We'll have a preview on the Mets. Plus, Mike Hill is at the stadium with more on the Yankees when we see you at 11. That's it for us for now. Back out to the Coliseum for the 3rd period from the Islanders and the Penguins.
I am a passenger, and I ride, I look through my window.
launched Verizon Wireless, we didn't just create affordable coast-to-coast calling plans with no roaming or long-distance charges. We created an entirely new kind of wireless communications company.
Hear it. Live it. Connect at the Wiz. Sharper pictures. Clearer sound. The hottest. The latest. Whatever it is, it's at the Wiz.
Sunday Night Fights on Fox Sports Net. Pound for pound, the best fighters in the world go toe-to-toe. Witness boxing fury from a ringside seat. Sunday Night Fights on Fox Sports Net.
Second intermission brought to you by Avis. We try harder. Islanders 3, Penguins 1. Scatcherd LaPointe with the goals. Mike Crispino joined by Eddie Westfall just outside the Islander dressing room. And Jaromir Jagr left the ice again just a moment or two before the second period ended, as he did at the end of the first period. We thought for equipment, but I don't know, maybe he was making a personal phone call or something.
No, he's not making a personal phone call. This is a hockey game.
You said you saw him on a cell phone.
You're right, I did.
The game's going on. He's on a cell phone?
That's right. He couldn't finish the call at the end of the first period, so he had to go back and finish it now.
He's not kidding.
I'm not kidding.
He was on a cell phone.
Yes, he was. Jaromir Jagr, when he had the equipment changed, remember we thought it was his hand? I went down to see.
Right. What was he doing?
I got to say hello to some guys, and he was sitting in the dressing room, and he had the left hand.
His right hand
was hurt. He was hurt, but he was talking on a cell phone while they're fixing his equipment.
Be careful now. Next collective bargaining agreement, you know that's going to be in there. Each player gets one cell phone call per period in each NHL regular season game.
I thought they already had it. He was on the phone, I'm telling you.
He's phoning it in.
And he was
I want him here, but he's phoning it in.
And I don't want him talking in his native language. I want him talking in English so I know what he's saying.
Well, maybe he was talking about you. Tim Connolly made a nice play. We can't even get to see it. We've run out of time talking about cell phone
He did.
bills.
He made a wonderful play. Simple. You see, if you keep things simple, what happens? Claude LaPointe gets a goal out of it.
Went right hard to the net, created something, LaPointe scored, and that's the analysis for this intermission. We'll be back in a moment.
What can I say? You know, he's like he came from other planet, or I don't know what to say. This guy's a man against boys.
Mario! Love you!
It's amazing, and I don't know, he might have even gotten a little better.
Here comes Mario!
Everything he's going to do, it's going to work for him. There's just so many guys in life, you know, in any businesses that are like that. And Mario's one of them.
The wonder of it all. Take a chance, make it happen. Pop the cork, finger snapping. Spin the wheel, round and round we go. Life is good, life is sweet. Grab yourself a front row seat. Let's meet and have a ball. Let's live. Yeah, let's live for the wonder of it all. Meet me at Foxwoods. Foxwoods.
Every city has a rhythm. New York is more of a rush. And within this pulsing center of people and motion, one thing makes our hearts beat even faster. The Knicks. United. Proud to be part of what keeps New York going.
Fox News Channel, the most powerful name in news, giving you the power to decide. Special Report with Britt Hume, powerful on politics. The Fox Report with Shepard Smith, powerful information. The O'Reilly Factor with Bill O'Reilly, powerful confrontation. Hannity and Combs, powerful debate. The Edge with Paula Zahn, powerful perspective. The most powerful name in news, Fox News Channel. We report, you decide.
Simply the best. Michelle Kwa, Brian Boitano, Elvis Stoico, Nicole Bobek, Todd Eldridge, Victor Petrenko, and more. The world's best skaters, live like you've never seen them before. Don't miss John Hancock Champions on Ice.
Coming to Nassau Coliseum. Tickets go on sale this Monday.
New York Islanders hockey is brought to you in part by New York Marriott World Trade Center, connected to the world.
Claude Lapointe has a power play goal. One of 2 goals the Islanders scored in the second period. The first of those 2 goals, a milestone for Dave Scatchard.
Yeah, caught on the 2-on-1 was the defenseman, 24. And that left the 2-on-1, and Scatchard looked to pass in the quick shot. Beautiful goal by Dave Scatchard through the legs of Garth Snow. That made it a 2-1 Islanders lead, and number 20 on the year for Scatchard. Then on the power play, this is the one where the net is up off the ice. Lapointe shoots it in. That power play goal makes it a 3-1 Islanders lead. And then the save of the game. Right there on Marty Straka, the beautiful feed from Kovalev, and Chris Terreri makes a spectacular save.
So Scatchard reaches 20. The Islanders on the power play for another 17 seconds as we start the third period here. So they'll have one good rush here if they're able to execute it. Kenny Janssen starts ahead. Puts it behind Cherkovsky. Medina will get there first for Pittsburgh. Morozov set to come out. And now the teams are at full strength. Jaromir Jagr out there for Pittsburgh with Gerdina and Morozov. Jagr, by the way, through 2 periods, 10 shifts, and a little over 12 minutes played. And that's below the norm for Jaromir Jagr in terms of what you would expect for a full 60-minute performance. It will prorate to about 18 minutes tonight. Jagr missing wide there in pursuit of goal number 50 on the year. He has the only Pittsburgh goal. That is his 49th of the season. And here's a chance. Kavasha score! A delayed penalty was going to be called against the Pittsburgh Penguins. But Ole Kavasha breaks through and buries his 10th of the year. 4-1 New York.
Well, the Islanders do a good job getting the puck out of their own zone, and then Pittsburgh just kind of get caught in a change. Kavasha is able to pick up the loose puck, walk in all alone, and the quick move, forehand to the backhand, and he put it past Garth Snow to hurry. Here it is. He's on his forehand, watch, backhand, and then flips it up before Snow can get over there, just inside the post. And Ole Kavasha has given the Islanders a 4-1 lead. Snow tried to poke check him with the stick, and Kavasha with the long reach saw that coming, went to his backhand, and just flipped the puck into the corner, just inside the post. His 10th of the year, and the Islanders lead it 4-1.
Well, the Islanders, who make it 4-1 exactly 1 minute into the third period, trying to do something that none of the other teams in the Atlantic Division have been able to do to the Pittsburgh Penguins this year, and that's win the season series.
Yeah, isn't that something? Pittsburgh dominated everybody else in the division, except the Islanders. And with a Pittsburgh loss in this game, a very real possibility exists, and really a probability, that Pittsburgh will face Washington in round number 1.
Gee, that never happens. I mean,
that just goes back and on for years, doesn't it?
That's 7 times, right?
Yeah, and Washington always struggles, don't they, against Pittsburgh? They can win the first 2 in Pittsburgh, which they have done in years past, and end up losing the next 4. And that is the one team, if you asked anybody in Washington, or at least the fans in Washington, they do not want to play, and it'll be the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Well, the scoring summary of the second period is brought to you by Panasonic. Just slightly ahead of our time, we showed you the Scatchard and Lapointe goals. And now Kavasha has added to that to put New York in front 4-1. Ole Kavasha hitting double figures with that breakaway goal. And the face-off between Scatchard and Primo deep in the Islanders zone. Galley chased by Primo. Hammerlick took a hit from Lacouture. And Gary Galley starts up ice. to the red line. McCall chases the bouncer. Snow poked it away. Goaltending for the Pittsburgh Penguins in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It will simply be Jean-Sébastien Aubin, who is not playing tonight, with Garth Snow watching that shot from galley sail wide. Boy, do they have themselves a goaltending situation going into the playoffs.
Well, I think right now, if they were going to play tomorrow, they'd go with the rookie Hedberg. 27 years old and has only played a number of NHL games, not many, since being traded. And he was something that Eddie Johnston, Hedberg was being watched by Eddie Johnston for 2 years. And it was actually Eddie Johnston that wanted his general manager, there's Hedberg there, backing up tonight, but he's played excellent hockey for the Penguins. But Eddie Johnston actually wanted Craig Patrick, the general manager, to try and make a deal for Yevgeny Nabokov, and tried hard to get him. And eventually it fell through. I mean, San Jose wanted a number 2 draft pick for him a couple of years ago.
You know why
Pittsburgh was willing to do that. Then they wanted a number 1. They couldn't get him.
You know why it fell through? Because just as Ed Johnston was scouting not only Hedberg but also Nabokov, a guy who really had been supportive of Nabokov in the San Jose organization, both as a scout and just an advocate of his after he was drafted, was John Ferguson, who was a pro scout for the San Jose Sharks. He did the same thing. He was all over Nabokov. And then when offers started coming in, he pleaded Dean Lombardi not to trade him.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't. He's obviously having just a tremendous year for San Jose, who might not make the playoffs because they can't score any goals.
A free fall they've had.
Boy, you talk about teams that have just really played themselves down to the bottom of the conference, or bottom, towards the bottom of the, the 7th or 8th spots. San Jose has been one, Vancouver another, Toronto we've talked about.
And you mentioned Vancouver, along with San Jose. Both of those teams have dealt with significant injuries, at least for key players anyway. Talked about the broken leg in Vancouver that pretty much ended the season. I mean, it was just a terrible injury as it turns out. But also with San Jose, they lose Vincent Damphousse for the year.
That's right.
And that certainly affected them. So what Naslund has meant to Vancouver, well, that's the same thing with Damphousse and San Jose. And then they make that big deal. They move Friesen. They get Solani.
He was popular.
Yeah.
No, Friesen was a big part of that team. A lot of speed, a lot of leadership. They fed off his energy.
A chance for Connolly. And it was smothered by Bobby Dallas.
And Teemu Solani, as soon as they made that deal, Solani, of course, had to have the knee surgery, so he missed a couple of weeks. He finally scored a goal the other day, his first for San Jose, but I'm not sure he's back to being 100% as of yet.
You know what the best thing about this scramble is, and boy, wouldn't it be nice for the Islanders if they can get into one of these things one of these years, is that when you look at what's transpired as far as who's fighting for those final spots in each conference, nobody's getting in with a sub-500 record. There are going to be a couple of pretty good clubs that are going to miss the playoffs this year. And thankfully, Gary Bettman is on record as saying that despite the advances of some general managers to increase the number of playoff teams in the NHL to 18 or maybe even 20, they're not going to do it, at least for the foreseeable future. They're staying with 16. That makes the regular season more meaningful and the playoff races especially significant, because you're going to have teams with winning records who don't get into the playoffs this year.
It's been 16 for over 20 years. Back when they had 21 teams in the league, there were 16 teams that made the playoffs, and there was a great deal of criticism because there were only 5 of the 21 that did not make the playoffs. That number making the playoffs has stayed the same. The number of new teams in the league has increased dramatically, and now about half make the playoffs. And there you see the tight race. And you know how we talked during the pregame show. You look at those numbers there with games remaining.
Look at Toronto, though.
Yeah, you look at Toronto with 86. But, you know, it's going to take, what, a minimum of 86, 87 points to make the playoffs. The Islanders are going to finish with 50, 55. They've got 50 coming into this one, but say 55. I mean, they're going to need a 30-point, I think, at least a 30-point improvement next year to make the playoffs. It's not easy to do.
Which is why you have to stay patient. It's a possible thing, I'm sure, to try to sell to the fans when you consider what's happened to this franchise over the last decade or so. But if most of these kids appear to be the real thing, And you got to nurture them. You got to bring them along slowly. And as we talked earlier, if that means that DiPietro's not ready even for next year, so be it. Straka with a drive, and Terreri. And who knows, maybe Terreri will factor in somewhat. He's come up big a couple of times tonight. And again, it was on Straka.
Well, he said this morning, he said the third period now, when his legs are feeling stronger than they have been, what that allows him to do in the third period is come out of his net and really cut down the angle. And this is a perfect example of it right here. There's the shot. Look how far out of the net he is. I mean, he's well out of his crease. That's a good save. Straka with tremendous speed, gets a little bit of pressure from Hammerlick. And look at, here's the crease here, and he's well out. Very aggressive play. Very aggressive. And that's just a good save. Great save by Chris Terreri.
So the draw deep in the Islanders zone. Will Terreri factor in next year? He's an unrestricted free agent at the end of this season. Everybody playing the puck here. The point. See, that's Primo anyway. Tying each other up. And Moran fails to hold it.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Lou Lamoriello decided to re-sign Chris Terreri in the offseason. Lou Lamoriello told me a couple of days ago that his most difficult decision was to trade Chris Terreri because he's known him since he was 16 years old. Played for him at Providence when Lou was at the college ranks. And he said, but we've always made decisions with this organization based on what's best or what they think is best for the organization, and they leave out personal feelings. And he said that was a hard thing to do, is move Chris Terreri. And here's the last save. He makes good glove save here by Terreri. And the wrist shot, and then does a smart thing and holds on. Pittsburgh continuing to use 4 lines in this game. Again, they'll have 4 days off after this game. 2 games on the weekend. Saturday at Philadelphia, Sunday at Carolina.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, because if that means everything to Carolina. Big save by Terreri there. Como, or at least McKenna, stopped on the backhand by Terreri. But if that game in Carolina means everything for the Carolina Hurricanes, now you're talking about home, or at least back-to-back games at Philadelphia, at Carolina. Does Lemieux play? Does Jágr play? Does Mike Keenan go there himself and wring Ivan Alinka's neck if he doesn't put them both out there?
You know what? If you're Pittsburgh and the game doesn't mean anything, then you don't play those players. I'm sorry, but you know, each team and each organization is in this to do the best thing for them. That's the way they play it. Now, if you're a team that's out of the playoffs, it's different. The Islanders wouldn't sit or rest anybody at that point. But if you're Pittsburgh and you're locked into a playoff spot, and if Carolina, you know, it could have, I mean, it could be exactly that.
Yeah.
Carolina might have to win or tie that game in order to make the playoffs and possibly beat Boston out of a playoff spot.
Boston will close out against the Islanders that Saturday night.
Right.
So they may have to sit by the TV and sweat out whatever Carolina does at home against Pittsburgh. I'm telling you, if Keenan sees the Penguins out there and he needs Carolina, you know, he needs Carolina to lose or tie or whatever, and there's no Lemieux and there's no Jágr, he'll rent himself a Learjet, go out there and take on Ivan Alinka right behind the Pittsburgh
You know
bench.
what? And you can't blame him. But you know, but that's why coaches will talk about games early in the season that you let slip by or you rest someone, and it comes down to the end, and they seem to mean so much more, but it's just another point or two that you're looking for. And so can you blame Pittsburgh for preparing themselves for the playoffs to win? I don't think so.
Jágr with Cairns on him. Now Kuchera centers. Jágr hits the side of the net. Of course, if the Bruins don't get in, they'll say it was all Atlanta's fault. As Atlanta beat Boston 4 straight times. 4-1 Islanders here in the third.
Hey, kids! Look who's here!
Woohoo! Happy birthday, Tommy.
Danny.
Okay, what's your favorite animal, Donnie?
Giraffe.
There you go.
What is it?
Hey, you're welcome. Kids, come here. Clowny's got an idea. Who wants a nap? Huh? I know I do. What?
Ever get the feeling some people just stop trying? At Avis, we know people like to be taken care of. Individually. Avis, we try harder.
All
the weekend warriors who push themselves to the limit. The sports medicine experts and orthopedic specialists of Continuum Hospitals are thankfully here to help.
Goodness, Beelzebub, you look like heck.
Ah, stick a pitchfork in it, Junior. It's hot as Hades in here and I'm burnt out.
Then drink a Red Bull energy drink. It vitalizes body and mind.
Red Bull, huh? Ah, tastes great. But, oh, what's that?
There is one side effect, though.
Oh, wings. I can't grow wings. The master of evil cannot grow wings.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Tonight after the game, stay tuned for the premiere of the New York Sports Report, bringing you all the home team news, local stories, and regional highlights. It's the New York Sports Report tonight following Islanders hockey here on Fox Sports Net.
Shots now 25-22 in favor of Pittsburgh. And Ferrer's been good, hasn't he? This Penguins lineup a little different with Mario.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, plus they clinched a playoff spot. It seems to be, I'm sure, a little bit of a letdown as far as they are concerned.
Taylor Pyatt trying to snap a long goal-scoring drought. That one go off the Pittsburgh stick. And up come the Penguins, led by Hrdina. Hrdina and Yager. And then as Hrdina slides it towards the net, Sketcher coming back, cut it off. And he spun around, dumped by Morozov. Yager to Morozov, a pad save by Terreri. And another good, solid save by Chris Terreri. Hrdina with a drive, and there's another one, speared to the corner by Terreri. Morozov through Yager's legs. 12 minutes left in the third. 4-1 Islanders.
Terreri's been good, hasn't he?
Solid.
Very, very good in this game.
2 good saves there. He's made 2 tremendous saves on Martin Straka, one in the second period, which I think is the best one he's made all night, and then one here in the third. So he's been good. The shot's 25-22 for Pittsburgh. Lou Amarillo does try to re-sign Terreri. Does Terreri say, okay, but I've got to play more than 10 games next year?
Well, 10 games over 2 years.
It's been about that, huh? McCall fires one all the way down.
You know, but Chris Terreri, you know, understands the situation. You know, he's never, ever moaned or complained about his ice time. He and Marty Brodeur had an excellent working relationship. Tremendous.
And then he comes here after leaving a team that had a chance to win a 3rd Stanley Cup, and he turns out to be one of the more bubbly, uplifting guys in the Islander room.
I mean, he's had a lot to do with the attitude of this team in the final 3 weeks of the season.
He picked them up.
He sure did. I mean, he's the one who recognized it immediately that this team was moaning and groaning and feeling sorry for themselves, and he said, "Hey, it's time to change. Pick the head up. Let's have a little fun. We got to play this game. We got to play it out. Let's play hard. Let's try and have some fun while we do it." And that was early on. That was before many players knew him. He stood up in the locker room and made his presence felt right away. Not to mention that he's a very, very likable person.
No air about him, nothing pretentious.
No. And if anybody had reason to be depressed going from a team that's got a chance to win the Stanley Cup again to a team that's not going to play in the playoffs, that's one reason.
And another good save by Terreri, who came out to meet the shot of Andrew Ferentz. 10:02 remaining of the third period. Terreri and the Islanders with a 4-1 lead.
Now, granted, he's, as you mentioned earlier, Howie, his contract is up. He will be an unrestricted free agent. So he's getting the opportunity to play and play as well as he can for another contract. There he is. Look at him, how far on the net he is. You know, very aggressive with the way he's playing. Gives Chara little shots. Says, "Get out of my way, big guy." Yeah, again, very aggressive coming out of the net. And then Morozov had a chance after that, and again Terreri with a good save.
Scatchard wins the draw back for Janssen. Halfway through the third period, Islanders leading 4-1. And Terreri fields shot number 29 from the Pittsburgh Penguins. Kenny Janssen ahead for Kavasha. 3 Penguins spread abreast of the blue line. And Sketcher starts ahead. Lofting one in for Tchaikovsky. Arias turns in the corner. Tied up there by Bobby Dallas. So Kavasha gets back to it. Kavasha with a goal here in the third.
And Lauren Henning wants to win as many games as he can. I mean, he had Scatchard on the ice for the face-off deep in his own end. 2 centers on the ice. And when the Islanders were able to clear it, Scatchard back to the bench. And Kolnick took his spot on the line.
Lauren's predecessor, Butch Goring, in the building again tonight. Hoping the weather turns so he can get some golfing in Vegas or Colorado. Beautiful in Colorado today.
Or here.
Yeah, well,
how about this?
That's almost an afterthought at this point. Tibbetts lets one go. Ferrari steers that aside. In center ice, Kasparaitis and Webb. And Webb's been throwing left hand, so Bugner jumps in. I don't know, Bob Bugner could get himself a 3rd man in here.
Well, he doesn't care about that, and that's a right thing for Bugner to do. Because Kasparaitis was in a position where Webb had him. And Webb was delivering left hands, and Bugner says, I've got to go over and help out my guys. We get ready for the playoffs.
Some people have a passion for driving. One such person is engineer Chris Marr. For the all-new GMC Yukon XL Denali, Chris and the team paired a 320 horsepower V8 to full-time all-wheel drive for a mix of power and agility found in no other SUV. To quote Chris, who says you can't teach a big dog new tricks? Introducing the GMC Yukon XL Denali.
Who will be the undisputed middleweight champion of the world? Saturday, April 14th, IBF middleweight champion Bernard Hopkins takes on WBC middleweight champion Keith Holmes. Saturday, May 12th, WBA and IBF junior middleweight champion Felix Tito Trinidad battles WBA middleweight champion William Jaffe. The winners meet September 15th in the final showdown. 4 fighters, 3 nights at Madison Square Garden, 1 undisputed champion. For tickets, call Ticketmaster or visit the Garden box office today.
In a place where battles are fought, only the strong survive. And within this arena, a defender will protect, an attacker will drive, a sharpshooter will create, and a warrior will rise. This summer, witness and celebrate how the East was won. Season tickets are on sale now. Call 212-465-6073 or visit nyliberty.com.
Here's where it starts. Those 2 players circled, Kasparaitis and Webb. The play is coming down this way. They'll leave the screen for just a second. Oh, there's a glove. And now there they are. And Webb's got him where he wants him. And that's where Bugner jumps in. And that's a good play by Bugner. And Bugner didn't go in and try and sucker punch Webb. He just wanted to go in to help protect his teammate, who they will need in the playoffs. Didn't want him to get hurt.
But nothing happened with Bugner, just 5-minute fighting majors to Kasparaitis and Webb. So we've had some fights tonight. Cairns and Tibbetts, Chara and McKenna, and now Webb and Kasparaitis. Eric Cairns ahead for Sketcher. Point Moran locked up in the Pittsburgh zone. 8.5 left in the 3rd period. Yager trying to get it loose from Sketcher. Sketcher stays with it, got it to the net, even though he was being knocked down in the process. Good work there by Dave Sketcher. Moran pressured from LaPointe. And now Herdina plays it away from Sketcher. Taken in center by Zdeno Chara. 8 minutes left here in the 3rd.
Howard, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Mario Lemieux have a chance to win the MVP?
Well, no, probably not. But consider that he played to this point, or has anyway, exactly half a season, 41 games. Consider that in those 41 games, he has 34 goals, 37 assists, 71 points. All of those numbers more than any player on the New York Islanders. And we know that because we've got all the Islander numbers in front of us. And probably more than any player on a few other teams, too. Half a season.
I think he's going to get some votes.
I wouldn't.
I think he's going to get a lot of votes. And that man right there is a big reason why maybe Mario should get some votes for MVP.
Well,
Yarmer Yager.
I mean, the reason I wouldn't do it, for one, is that, you know, Pittsburgh's kind of middle of the pack here in the Eastern Conference. Right now, they're ranked 6th. He probably won't stray too much further from that. It's not like, even with Lemieux coming back, he's led the Penguins to the top of the conference. By the way, did you fill out your ballot for the Jack Adams yet?
No, I haven't. I'm wrestling with a few different names.
Are you?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Gotta have it in by the 12th. Lang to Kovalev, and he missed the net. Jack Adams Award voted on by the broadcasters for Coach of the Year. Straka stopped again. That's 3 good chances for Straka. And he's been stopped all 3 times by Terreri. Terreri with a save there on Ferentz. I'm not going to mention any names. But
Why?
You know, I don't want to get anybody mad at me. I'm going to see some people over the next few days. Then I could run away and hide during the baseball season. But I like the job some guy in Philadelphia has done this year.
Well, he's going to get plenty of votes, and he could easily be a winner. Bill Barber.
Parrish from Connolly, and that's denied by Snow. Well, all right, you just wrestled me at him. Wrestled it at him. Kovalev closing in, and Terreri shuts the door.
That guy in Detroit hasn't done a bad job either.
He's on my ballot.
You know what? And I think he deserves an awful lot of consideration.
And there's one.
He's been a great coach for how long? How many times has he won it? Once?
Is that right? Scotty's only won it once?
I think he's only won it once.
Is that right?
Yes.
That's remarkable.
I think he deserves consideration.
Now, he did a great job. I want to take Scotty way back to the beginning. The early years of expansion with St. Louis. Not that he was going to get any votes then with an expansion team.
The last chance by Parrish, where he took the pass.
Won a Stanley Cup in Pittsburgh, won 4 straight, 5 overall in Montreal. I think he's secure with his resume, though. William Scott Bowman.
I think he's done a great job. Yzerman missing all that time.
I agree with you.
The goaltending has been. I don't want to say the goaltending has been bad. It's just been hasn't been a #1 guy all year. Osgood has struggled.
I filled out his name.
Did you?
His name is among the 3 on my ballot. Yeah.
And Jacques Lemaire's the other one you mentioned?
No. Kavasha shot stop, but it is a player that Scotty Bowman coached, who also I think has been overlooked somewhat this year.
Larry Robinson.
Yeah. Usually I'm one of those guys who likes to vote for the guy who does the most with the least. And I don't know that there's been a lot of that this year. I think Lemaire's done a pretty good job, of course, in Minnesota, but Dave King's done every bit as good a job in Columbus.
No, you're right. I mean, both those franchises. I mean, I think the coaches have done well. The general manager, everybody associated with those 2 new franchises have done a remarkable job and deserve a lot of credit. Doug McClain and Doug Risebrough.
It's a bear. He's after a Smirnoff Ice. No. Bad bear. Oh. Come on. What are you doing? Hold still. Okay, hold still. Don't move, buddy. Look, honey. Oh, good, yeah. Look at that. Honey. Okay. What are you doing?
New Smirnoff Ice. Drink it responsibly.
Didn't you have a friend?
Yes. Smooth move.
Every city has a rhythm. New York is more of a rush. And within this pulsing center of people and motion, one thing makes our hearts beat even faster. The Knicks. United. Proud to be part of what keeps New York going.
We clean up messes. Call Labor Ready at 1-800-24-LABOR or go to laborready.com. Labor Ready. Get some help.
He's been voted the most powerful on-air personality in sports. Welcome to the jungle. Jim Rome, The Last Word. Weeknights at 11:30 on Fox Sports Net.
New York Islanders hockey has been brought to you by Smirnoff Ice. See where it takes you.
Everyday fans can now voice their opinions on MSG Sports Desk's Fair Game. For a $300 donation to the Gardens Cheering for Children Foundation, you can speak your mind about sports in your very own personalized editorial that will air in an upcoming edition of MSG Sports Desk. Everything is fair game. New York fans on MSG Network. Tibbetts and Martin's on the draw. Those two again.
You've been watching them, haven't you?
Paying close attention.
Since I mentioned that early on.
It's a key matchup. Martin's feistier than.
He plays hard. I mean, he's a little guy, and he is not afraid of anybody.
5:24 to go in the third. Islanders look to have this one in pretty good control. Leading Pittsburgh 4-1, trying to take the season series 3-2. Craig Berube in the corner now. Just lifts one out of the Islanders zone. Parrish after it. Bobby Dallas in front of him. Tibbetts goes softly into Martins in front of the Islander bench.
Hey, congratulations to Ray Ferraro, by the way. Yes, Islander, who just seems to keep hanging in there, signed a new one-year contract with the Atlanta Thrashers that had a tremendous year.
Ray wasn't so sure the last time that we were in Atlanta that he'd be back for another year.
I gave him a couple million reasons why he should come back.
That'd make the decision pretty easy, wouldn't it? Of course, Ray will probably.
Start playing.
Yeah. Well, I told you I'm representing him. I just want a fair cut.
Yeah, where are we on your representation of me?
Well,
You've had a good 3 months.
Well, my staff and I are going to huddle tomorrow. And
you get back to me?
Well, basically what we're going to do is just sift through all the offers and then present the best ones to you. Okay. This is a process.
All right. So you'll call me at home tomorrow.
Sure.
Okay.
After we get through everything, maybe late in the day.
All right. Oh, I got that charter.
Here's Sketcher. Leave a message at the hotel. Call got knocked down by Bobby Dallas. 3:41 to go in the third period. Ferentz put it right off of Connolly.
We're still talking multi-year?
Sure.
Good.
Well, you don't think I want as big a cut as I can get? I'll send you out there for 3 years if I can get it.
Lifetime. A lifetime deal for you.
Mike Crispino wants a piece of this action. You knew Crispy'd have his hand out once we started talking about cuts here.
Okay,
all
take
right,
it away, Mike. Come on, go ahead. I know this is pertinent information.
You guys seem like you need a break when you start talking about Joe Micheletti making a comeback in this league. But kudos really tonight to Chris Terrera. I know you guys were talking about him a few moments ago. If you recall back in Phoenix a few days ago at the end of that road trip, we're talking to Chris about his future, and you know, I said to him, you know, it must be awful to have to leave the Devils. They're going to maybe get to the Stanley Cup Finals again and win another championship. And he was not totally in agreement with that. He wanted to get back to playing some hockey. I think he'd been tired of sitting around for most of the year and wanted to try to regain his game a little bit. So this has not been a bad move for him in any way for his own personal development. And who knows what happens next year. But I don't know if it's a guarantee that if Lou Lamoriello came back at him, he'd automatically go back to New Jersey. Who knows? Back to you guys.
All right, let's get back to my deal now.
All right. Well, Lou's one of the guys I'm going to talk to. Parrish with a shot that's stopped by Garth Snow.
Oh, boy.
2:59 to go in the third here. And the Islanders with a 4-1 lead. Hey, you know what's coming up tomorrow? The Mets opening up in Atlanta. Our first Fox Sports Net Mets telecast Wednesday night as the Mets and the Atlanta Braves get together. That will be the second of 19 games between the Mets and the Braves this year. Geico Mets on Deck leads off at 6:30, and then at 7, the Mets and the Braves right here on Fox Sports Net.
Is that Al Leiter?
Yeah, that'll be. No, wait a minute. That's Leiter tomorrow.
And,
Leiter
tomorrow.
Yeah,
okay.
We'll probably see Kevin Apier on Wednesday. Rick Reed Thursday. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Montreal. Atlanta Braves winning their game today, so the Mets will be trying to catch the first place Braves tomorrow.
Okay, Howie, can the Mets win the division?
Yes, sure.
Over the Braves?
Absolutely. Braves get a little more difficult for a Met fan to hate this year because they get one of the all-time good people in baseball, Rico Brogna. the former Met, the former Philly.
Played in Philly last year, right? Last few years.
You won't find a better person in professional sports. And he's now playing first base. Tough spot for him. He's got to take over for Andres Galarraga, popular and productive. Easy play there for Garth Snow on the pop-up with 2:19 to go in the third. Rico had a couple of hits for Atlanta today, drove in a couple of runs. Well, one anyway. Saw him drive 1 run in the 8th inning.
Galarraga went to the American League, did he not?
Yeah.
Where'd he go? Arizona?
1 second, they're telling me to do
All right,
it.
let's do this.
He went with
Let's do the
A-Rod
fun
to Texas.
Texas.
He was the other half of that deal with Rodriguez.
Okay.
251.5 for Rodriguez and another .5 pocket change there for Galarraga. But you know, let's give you one more chance to get in on these fun packs. Sponsored by Newsday and PC Richard. One more chance. It'll be on Friday night against the Ottawa Senators. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs. The tickets, by the way, for the misguided, one of whom includes Larry Roth down in our truck. Larry's going, what 4 games? It's the last game of the year. Larry, there are 4 tickets for 1 game. So you can bring your whole family. That's why they call it the Family Fun Pack. 4 tickets, 4 Pepsis, 4 hot dogs, 4 bags of pretzels. The idea being that you might want to bring the family, ergo the Family Fun Pack.
And we have been relying on Larry this entire season.
Speaking of fun, now if we're going to negotiate a playing contract for you, we may need a little more footage than what we have.
See, that's me going after Dr. Levchuk.
Mike Gordy, Buzzy Deschamps there.
I was flying.
Well, I could sell safety. See, not everybody's wearing a helmet. I can sell cautious players.
There's Lorney in that old helmet that he wore.
You're a -1 in your own highlight film. What is this? How am I going to?
That's right.
How am I going to sell
together?
that?
That's Larry and Paula. What's that all about? Oh, you got the rest of the stuff. I think Jerry Hart and I finished +7, so we came back strong.
I got to call Scott Boras for some advice. I'm going to need something better than that.
Did you see Lorne Henning gets it to the red line and dumps it in Clark Gillies' corner? I mean, come on.
1:27 to go in the third. 4-1 Islanders. So the Islanders about to win their 21st of the year and also make it 3 against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Win the season series there. Webb and Kasparaitis again.
You know, Kasparaitis saw him coming. Webb had him lined up, and just at the last moment, Kasparaitis ducked down. He sees him coming out of the corner of his eye. There's Webb. Watch Kasparaitis. Oh! Saw you coming. Oh, man. The game's not quite over with yet. Just when Webb thought he had them all lined up, Kasparaitis out of the corner of his eye. Saw him coming, protected himself, got out of the way. And so Kasparaitis, as always, has been very visible in this game against the Islanders.
Well, Thursday nights at 7 on Metro, it's Game Face. Dave Sims will be joined by former Jet running back Bruce Harper and Omar Minaya, the senior assistant general manager of the New York Mets. If you'd like to be a member of the studio audience, call 877-674-METRO or send an email to gameface@metro.com. Put on your Game Face Thursday night following Rangers hockey only on Metro.
Keep an eye on those two, Lacouture and Pyatt.
Pyatt got some good right hands in there. Lacouture trying to return fire. And finally he wrestles Pyatt to the ice. That's good recovery there by Dan Lacouture.
All right, from the face-off, you could feel that coming. They were both struggling to get position. Had some words. And then said, okay, fine. Some blood, I'm not sure where that came from. They both exchanged some pretty good punches. And they will both head to their respective locker rooms. Is that the first fight for the young Taylor Pyatt in the National Hockey League, Howie? I know you have all of the information that I could possibly ask for.
For Taylor Pyatt, that's a milestone. They should give him the Band-Aid. It's his first National Hockey League fight.
Got some punches in, took a few from Lacouture. Oh, they both were throwing the big haymakers, weren't they? Lacouture's a strong kid. There's the start. And then they push, they shove, they talk.
4 fights in this game.
And then you could just see him. I mean, this, without question, was going to happen. There it is. Linesman tried to break it up, but they both fought through that.
But we have reached the final minute of the third period in the penultimate home game of the year for the New York Islanders, who will close out the home schedule on Friday night. Barry Roth, no doubt, will be all set for the final family fun pack night of the year when the Islanders close out against the Ottawa Senators. Alan Hahn will be signing those Newsday t-shirts, Fan Appreciation Night. I hope you can join us here at the Nassau Coliseum. If you can't, tune in on TV 55. Hand pass there. The Pittsburgh zone stops play. 33.8 remaining.
Yeah, that's a game that could mean an awful lot to Ottawa. Because remember, Ottawa and New Jersey fighting for that #1 seed in the East. And coming into tonight's game, Ottawa had 105 points. New Jersey 103. And New Jersey has come back. They were trailing 3-1. And the last score I saw, Howie, was 5-3, or was it 4-3?
Well, I got 4-3.
New Jersey was the last I saw. So New Jersey can tie Ottawa tonight, and even in games. And so that game for Ottawa Friday night here could mean an awful lot for them.
Here we go again. Meze and Bugner. Well, this one doesn't seem that it's going to get off the ground, but Kavasha.
There comes Kavasha.
And Tibbetts. That didn't get very far either. Kavasha dropped the glove, so did Tibbetts. So a fight still developed, but the linesmen will make sure that all the players are not only separated, but the referees will send them off for the last 23.8 so they can finish this game and everybody can say goodnight.
And now Tibbetts is heading to the Pittsburgh locker room. Bugner just vacated the ice seconds before Tibbetts. And off the face-up, the puck comes over, and I'll watch these two over here. Bugner and Meze. So they start things. And you know what? Give Bugner credit. I mean, he had a chance to nail a young kid. He had him in perfect position, and he decided not to hit him. I mean, Meze's big and strong, and Bugner's a tough kid. He's a tough guy, and down he went. Now, right there, he could have, you know, he had the chance if he wanted to give him a couple of good shots. He had him down on the ice, was standing there, and elected not to. I'll tell you, I give him credit for that. He could have nailed him a couple of times, this kid. Had him down on it. See, he had him right there. He could have given him a couple of good shots, and he didn't. I applaud that. And so then off to the side, Kavasha and Tibbetts. And that's a mismatch. But Kavasha backs up, and Tibbetts goes looking for somebody else.
Well, again, just 23.8 seconds remain. So all of the players who are involved have been sent off.
5-on-3 for the Islanders. Bugner gets 2 minutes, and Tibbetts gets 2 minutes.
Nothing else.
Meze still on the ice. So is Kavasha.
And here's Parrish trying to tee it up. Meze for Parrish. He shoots. Save made. Rebound. Parrish missed the net. 12 seconds to go. Islanders going to win. The question is by how much. They'd like one more here. Meze to Galley, but he shanks it. 4 seconds to go. Kavasha just flings it out. Galley fires away. It goes wide. Doesn't matter though. Final horn. Islanders win it 4-1.
Now the Islanders played Pittsburgh tough all season long. And Chris Terreri, 35 saves tonight. He was very, very good in goal. Even though the Islanders, in my estimation, deserved to win this, they had 29 shots on goal. Gar Snow, his first game in a long time, looked a little rusty. It's going to take him a little bit of time to get back into game shape. But Cairns and Chara did a good job against Yager. And the Islanders overall played a strong game. Congratulations to Dave Scatchard, by the way. Goal number 20. Boy, if anybody deserves to reach a milestone in this season, it's Dave Scatchard. Not for just everything he does on the ice and the work that he has put in to make himself a good hockey player. But I think for everything he does off the ice that goes unnoticed, we've talked about it often, but the care that he has given to children and people with problems. So congratulations to Dave Scatcherd on goal number 20.
Well deserved, as is the Islanders' 4-1 win over the Penguins. We'll be back.
Be right out. Let me just put this Bud Light away. Hey, Otto. Come on.
Honey, where's Otto? Otto? Otto?
With a great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
To all the weekend warriors who push themselves to the limit, the sports medicine experts and orthopedic specialists of Continuum Hospitals are thankfully here to help.
Dreyfus presents a continued tradition of tax-smart investment solutions to defend what's yours. The power of you, your advisor, and Dreyfus.
The Islanders snap a 7-game home losing streak, beating the Penguins by a final of 4-1. Dave Scatcherd's 20th of the year. That's a career high for him. The game-winning goal, and it's the Bud Light goal of the game.